I'm going to do what I always do and go look at crack, I think.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah,
Okay.
love a bit of crack.
A bold choice.
So the shipping forecast name, if the BBC ever come for us and say, no, you can't do that, probably going to change our name to the Crack Dealers. Because then we're dealing out crack fics.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I
You're
think
going to have
that
a
works
different
as-
authority knocking at your door
Yeah.
for that one.
Yes.
I think you just
Possibly.
pick progressively more
they're
and
less
more
menacing.
egregious names as time goes on. You got to think of something that's like a slight escalation from that,
I've
and then
no
just
idea
have
where
like
we'd go
7
from
down
crack
the line.
dealers. So there is one thing I felt like I should mention before we begin. Just on the off chance there's any Americans listening to this. So me and Nick are from the north of England.
Mm-hmm.
And that means our accents are slightly different to the rest of the British accent.
Well,
It's
I mean,
more noticeable with Nick, it's less noticeable with me. But
Yeah.
Where's it going?
we can't pronounce the letter H.
Oh.
And generally that sort of slips by unnoticed. But there's a few little things with our accents, like, for example, if I talk about a loaf, for example, as in a loaf of bread, the O is elongated.
Ooh.
So when we talk about Heartstopper,
Oh.
to clarify, we are talking about Heartstopper,
Yes.
the show, and not someone trying to stop art.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd get that out of the way.
Distinction.
Clarify.
Art stopper.
Yeah, so
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to try my best to keep my southern accent and say Heartstopper with an H, but if you hear us talk about
I hate to break
Heartstopper...
it to you, but pure Southerners don't say ha either.
Oh,
I say
God.
art.
So you say
I
Heartstopper
don't
as
even.
well.
I don't even pronounce the T at the end. No one knows what the fuck I'm on about.
So hold on, what
All
do you
right,
say,
Alan,
Grace?
it's me and you. We're gonna have to pronounce all of these for the rest of them.
Great, we've got these H's.
Yep.
The beginning and the end of this word doesn't exist in my language.
Unfortunately, I'm from Boston, so the R is gonna go. So it's Heartstopper.
Nice.
And English is not my first language, so
Oh,
So this is a
So
mess all
we're doing
around.
great.
Yeah.
we don't know words.
And yet, despite this,
Fantastic.
I reckon you're going to pronounce it better than any of the native English
Yeah.
speakers.
We'll certainly give it our best shot.
Yeah, we'll try.
It'll be fine. Usually what I do is just spew a load of unintelligible Yorkshire garbage into the microphone, and then Jim just sorts
Yorkshire
it all out in
garbage.
post.
Yeah. It's even weirder because me and Nick are from a town called Hull, which has an H at the start of it.
Oh, Hull.
Yeah, Hull.
Hull.
Scenic Hull, or Hull. So, that, as everyone there
Wow.
calls it. Poor naming choices.
Yeah.
Talking of names. Hello everyone, welcome to the Shipping Forecast. You may have noticed listening to this, there are more voices in the room than you would normally expect.
Hi.
That's because we have guests today. So,
That's right, dear listener. It's not just me sat in a room with 2 sock puppets. We actually have Erin and Alan from the Fic List. Hey!
I have to say, it was very strange to be on this side of the "Hi, welcome back" intro. I was like, "That's my line."
Yeah.
What's he doing?
What?
the thing is, we rarely remember to do these things. I had to specially think, okay, we have to introduce ourselves this time because there are more people involved, and we should probably do our best to have a proper introduction instead of just rambling into whatever we want to talk about.
How considerate! I loved it.
So yeah, we're joined by the hosts of the Fic List. So now there's 5 of us, and we're here to talk about Heartstopper today. I got it right that time.
Yeah,
Hey,
I was
you
gonna
did
say, great
Yeah.
age.
So proud of you.
So it's probably worth mentioning the original plan for this was we were going to do something uniquely American because Independence Day has probably just happened when
It's
this
coming up.
eventually uploads.
Oh, yeah.
coming
yeah,
up.
On a
We
date
were
as
going to
of
talk
now.
about Hamilton because, we're British, we don't know anything. But
We're American, we
I
also
hear
don't
there
know
was some-
anything, but
It's
boy,
true.
would we pretend to.
there's some kind of war that wasn't that important, and, can't remember who lost that. Doesn't actually matter. But-
I just know that we were outnumbered. I think.
yeah, I think it was an unfair fight looking at it. I'm pretty sure the Americans cheated.
Yeah.
Does it matter if we won?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Hang on a second. Didn't we get bored and just go and fight the French?
That does sound like
yeah,
us.
The
Yeah, I
7
think
years
that's
war
what happened.
party we needed attending to.
Historically, it's very easy to distract Britain by being like, "Do you want to fight the French instead?"
Oh dear. I don't know enough about British history to refute or agree with that, so I'm
we've
going to
got
let
a
it
long
lie.
rival. Have you heard of that 100 Years' War?
I have heard of that one.
That was us in France. We just
Great.
kept going.
It went on so long. It actually went on so long that we forgot it was still going, and then like I think the French did something, and when we forgot about it, and we're like, okay, we technically won this, and we're just like, no, hang on, come back, wait.
We were still thinking our next move.
Wait, time for more.
Yeah, apparently we lost that one. But
Bummer.
Shh, doesn't matter.
I know.
You don't have a great track
It's
record.
okay. We
eh?
I was gonna
started
say, which one
another
did you
We
win?
we really don't.
How dare you?
The beef has made it onto the episode. It's bled over.
Yeah.
If you want to know the ones that we won, just listen to the football chants done by football hooligans, basically. Drunk idiots, yes.
We're not
So-
promoting football because
No.
the worst thing about Britain is the football fans that we export to the rest of the world. So
we
we can't
Yeah.
own that.
Nope.
World Cup and FIFA happen, and then suddenly it's like, just, all right, get ready to be embarrassed on behalf of the nation of like 20 lads with a couple of points down
Yeah,
and being
we
idiots.
bullied
So
a
it's just like,
German
oh, God.
child last year, I think.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I've been hit by a 2x4. How did we get here?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that was
we
a
get
sidetrack.
to bullying
about-
German children from Heartstopper? What happened?
You're right. We should get back on the rails. So yeah, we didn't want to talk politics because of. I'm just going to gesture vaguely towards
Politics
everything.
Is shit.
Man,
Yeah,
this
so-
would have been an awful timing to have talked
I'm
about
so
Hamilton.
glad we had a
Yes.
safety.
Yeah. We just listeners know that we could not emotionally do that. We just couldn't do it.
That's perfectly fair. In my defense, when I suggested it, this was a long way away.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was like January I reached out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
no
kind of
one
glad
could
that
have
we're doing
foreseen how
something-
bad this could have gone.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad with what's going on in the world at the minute. We're doing something like quite nice and warm and fluffy,
Exactly.
and you know.
Yeah.
I'm just pleased I don't have to watch a musical.
Yeah.
Also fair, I guess. You're talking to two like diehard theater
know,
kids,
what
but
the
okay.
I mean, you do you, bro. I love The Lion King, but that's about it.
Grace, please.
Keep I'll get there.
On the plus side, though, this did mean we finally stopped procrastinating and ended up watching Heartstopper. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
That's
time.
great.
all in all.
Did you all also just binge it in 4 hours and then sob into a pillow?
Yes.
Great. That's universal experience.
Yeah. As long as we're all on the same page, because frankly, I feel like that is how you experience Heartstopper.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my girlfriend, we sort of watched it in 2 blocks, but there were bits that I sort of left at, and then there were bits that I was not sobbing uncontrollably, but I had a tear.
We'll take it.
I spent a good portion of it with my sort of hands in my head, looking through my eyes, just like
Yeah,
cringy
I think that's
teenage
fair.
things, and being sort of sent back to when I was a teenager, just like, oh god, don't do it. Oh god, he did. No.
Yeah.
It's like, and Harry can do one.
Yeah. There was a lot of cheering for the fight
It
as
was
well.
semi-accurate to sort of
Right.
school days, right? Because, and I know that when I liked somebody when I was a teenager in school, my strategy
Yes,
would be
that's
to
something I
not
wanted to talk
even
about.
talk to this person. Don't even let on that you exist to this person, because then, of course, you'll have to talk to them, and it might go wrong, and it might be disastrous and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah,
Under no...
exactly.
Yes.
That's why you only talk to them
Oh my
when you're
God.
ready to ask them out, and you just get them out of nowhere. That way, they never see it coming.
Yeah,
That was my logic when I was 14.
But
And oh god, yeah,
Great. So I see the strategy didn't quite work.
no, absolutely not. But what was really refreshing is, of course, when I were a kid, and Jim will attest to this, I was the weird specky kid that liked trains, right? Yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
it's,
we were both weird kid. The fact you still like that hasn't changed.
yeah, absolutely.
You're the specky adult.
You're a bit
Yeah,
less
the
weird than
specky adult that
Specky.
likes
You're
trains
still
and
very into
cars
trains.
and all sorts of other things. But it was
Yeah.
kind of nice to say, and I know we're all sort of a little bit weird in our ways now, but like it was nice to see the weird kids winning, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and just another sort of caveat as
Yeah.
well. Pretty much every British school built up to 2000 looks like that school.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that was gonna be one of my questions. I was like, how accurate was it to your school experiences?
It was uncanny.
It looked just like my school. It was awful.
Oh,
Okay, so in terms of sets, it's pretty much spot on. Uniforms
Yeah.
generally consistent. Our school had jumpers
Yeah.
instead of. Okay, the jackets and ties are slightly posh.
No, this is something that came in recently, and it happened to my school. Just as I left, they brought them in because they were so poor, they had to become a state academy
Oh.
or something, like some.
Oh, it's
sort
an
of
academy
scheme.
thing. Okay.
And so it turned out that the posh looking uniform is actually ended up being cheaper because of like a thing the government put in to help schools that were just so
Oh.
broke.
Oh, I see.
So it's just like this big bravado, and it's like, yeah, it's very strange.
So do all schools, or is it generally like practice that schools have uniforms? Because American public schools do not have uniforms.
Yes, you have to have
Really?
uniforms
Oh.
in the UK because it's like this big thing about classism, and you don't want poor kids and rich kids bullying each other.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Go on.
You've just
different-
explained to me.
Yeah.
I now finally understand why all the shows set in American high school don't have uniforms. I always thought that was a weird
No,
contrivance
yeah.
to give characters
If you're in an
stuff.
American school and they have uniforms, it's
Oh.
probably a religious school or a private school.
this is where I have to
Oh,
say that my school
okay.
had uniforms.
Did they?
Yeah, it was not.
Was your school religious?
No, I don't know why they chose to enforce it. We all just kind of went. They did it when I was in elementary, I think, and then they started just going through. Like it followed me throughout my school career, and then yeah, it wasn't anything fancy. It was just like a polo shirt in the school colors, which is kind of boring, and you could only ever wear like khakis or jeans. So not as exciting, I find.
Oh, okay.
Got to wear jeans.
Yeah, so we had
Wow.
uniforms up until sixth form, which is like 16 to 18 kind of
Yeah.
education, and then we got to wear whatever
Thank
we
you for
wanted.
explaining that, because I don't
Yeah.
understand anything about like what is a form. Like what is that? Like I don't. How?
Okay.
Why? Like, what is it?
So British education goes primary school till about 8, from like 4 till 11.
Mhm.
Then you've got high school or secondary school, depending where you are. That's like 11 to 16.
Oh,
Then you either
Yeah.
have sixth form or college, which is 16 to 18, and then university.
oh,
That's our system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
fascinating.
They recently, I say recently, a couple of years ago, they made it a rule that you have to be in education until you're 18. So when you were 16, you could just fuck off, get a job, or go to sixth form. But now you have to go to sixth form, and you have to, or be an apprenticeship or something. It's crazy.
You can't just go out and get a job like behind counter at Tesco or something like that.
Did you all go to sixth form?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did,
I
didn't
think
we?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were allowed to choose, we chose
Yeah.
to go.
I mean, I wish I didn't, but never mind.
That's neither here
Yeah.
nor there.
I thought we had a good time. But
No, we did. The point is, when I went into sixth form, I was sick of education, so my grades just plummeted through the floor because I just lost interest.
That'll do
you
it.
know?
You know, I
Yeah.
feel like, that is
That's
something that happens in American education as well. Like, there's a certain amount of pressure for all of us. So we do elementary school, middle school, high school, and elementary is like until you're probably like 10 or 11, and then middle school is until you are like 13, so like 11 to 13, and then high school is 13 to 18, 14 to 18.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you go to
Okay.
college or university. We basically use those terms interchangeably. There are some technical differences between what a college and a university is in the U.S., but no one knows what it is, so we just don't worry about it. But the
Makes
the
sense.
thing that I think we have a hard time with is that it now you like have to have a bachelor's degree from college to get any job.
Really?
But there are plenty of kids for whom it's like college is not the right path. Like you should not go to college because
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're done. Like you're so sick of school, or you just want to go get a job, or the job that you want to do doesn't actually need you to sit through 4 years of higher education. So yeah, I think there's real validity in having a conversation about like, is that path towards higher education right for all people? And the answer is probably no.
Yeah.
I would also
100%.
argue. Yeah, I would also argue that like when you go to university, at least here, you also have to take like basics again. You have to do like a certain number of math classes and a certain number of English classes, no matter what your like major, your specialization is in. So it's like I've just done like 12 years of math, and I'm never gonna need math to be a theater teacher.
You're still studying maths and grammar at uni.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the one hand, that sounds really useful. On the other hand, I'd die a death
Yeah.
if I had to do that.
Sometimes it depends on the program
true.
you're in, but most programs will have some kind of gen ed, general education requirement, where you do have to retake sort of like basics.
That's very strange.
I sort of went into apprenticeships after sixth form, and we had a similar thing, but it was literally only for the kids who didn't get like an English, maths and science GCSE. You know, like they had to retake something which basically meant that they could read, write, add up, subtract. You know, that sort of thing. It was just your basics again, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, once you've met the bare minimum English and maths and sciences after you're 16, it can never come up again, to be honest. The rest is optional, so I find that strange.
the weird impression that I got from our sixth form was, you know, you can do anything you want to do, be anything you want to be, but if you think about anything other than going to university, then we're not going to help you. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It was very much the assumption, for sure. It is worth noting that we've been out of the education system since, well, for me and Nick, it'd be 2008, 2010. No, 2010.
2010, 2011.
I can't speak. Yeah, so it's been about 10 years. Grace, you're a bit younger than me.
About 4 years less.
Left school like 2012, 2013, something like that. Point is, our knowledge of what British schools are like is slightly out of date.
However, I have been asking the young kids who have now apprenticeshipping as my thing because they're
You've asked the
forced
kids.
to.
I've also been comparing notes with a teacher friend of ours. Apparently the attitudes have changed in schools since we were...
Oh, good.
Because, so
Which
the thing
ones?
is, in like the mid-2000s, the term gay was less a derogatory term, more an adjective that you just added to things, at least in British high schools.
Yeah, that happened to us too.
And, yeah, apparently the teens have moved on from that,
Thank God.
which is good. So,
Yeah, they were moving into calling people special when I was
that's not that much better.
in
But
school.
Yeah,
Moved on to a different term.
we've gone from
Yes.
homophobic to,
No.
ableist? Yeah.
Yeah, that was good being an autistic kid back then. That was great. And they were like, oh no, special is the wrong word. And they were talking amongst themselves like, you can't call people special, that's disgusting. You've got to call them retarded because that's politically correct.
That's not what the
I was
term
like,
is anymore.
"Ah, you're all idiots. Help me.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's handicapped. And I was just sitting there going like, fucking stop.
That was sort of my takeaway watching it, thinking sort of the attitudes are slightly different to what I saw in school, but for the better, I should add. And
Yeah. And they had smartphones, so you could kind of tell
yeah,
they
it
were
was
younger than us.
back in my day. They wouldn't have been messaging over Instagram. You'd be hopping on MSN and sort of waiting for someone to pop online, and then you'd nudge them forever. That would have been the change.
On
Yep.
your laptop or computer.
Or you would be texting from your Nokia phone, which could have
Yes.
survived a nuclear blast.
The good old
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, the good old days.
lost era.
But yeah, aside from that,
Thought so.
it seems like an authentic British school experience from what I've seen of it.
After that.
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
Cool beans.
I mean, so how old are the kids meant to be in Heartstopper again? I think they're like
14
16 and
and
7.
16, I think.
Charlie turns 15
He does,
in the
yeah.
series,
Yeah.
and then Nick's already like
Yeah, 16
So-
and 17 because he's a year ahead.
That's it. Now that's a big thing that would have been a no-no in
Yeah.
school. It's like you don't ever date someone outside of your
Oh.
year, and that was
Oh.
like, well, this isn't realistic. That wouldn't happen. It was like big
Yeah, the drama would have
anti-school,
less
you know,
been,
like
oh, you're
social
dating another
suicide.
man. It's, oh, you're dating a child that's younger than you by a year. Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah. You're sexually active at 16 and he's not. What the fuck do you think you're doing? That was another big one. Yeah,
Oh.
16-year-olds not allowed to go out with 15-year-olds.
That's a point to clarify for Americans. 16 is the age of consent in Britain.
Yes.
Ah, that makes
So-
sense.
That's why.
That makes it a little bit
Power
less
dynamic.
weird if we
Right.
cover anything heavily sexual in these fics, which I suspect we will.
Oh god, I don't want.
They do
They're
feel
so
a bit
they're
young though,
babies.
so
Keep
maybe
them pure.
maybe not. We'll find out.
Maybe
when
they'll
we
be
get
aged
into it.
up in the fix.
Yeah, having spent a decent amount of time in the AO3 tags of this fandom, a lot of people are aging them up, or I've seen a lot of college and university through the American lens, AUs. Yeah, so they tend to come at it slightly aged up. It's not exclusive, obviously. Like, people just are, they'll write fics of the characters as they are too, and that is what it is. But like, yeah, there's a pretty strong tendency to age them up a little bit.
Okay, that'll make things a bit easier.
Okay. Cool.
So, who? Probably shouldn't ask Erin this because she's got prior knowledge. Who do you think we're going to be seeing?
Okay.
As the main relationships? Who do we reckon is going to be popular? What do you think we're going to see when we get into this?
It's clearly going to be the main.
It will
It's
probably be a
Nick and
lot.
Charlie,
It will
isn't it?
probably be a lot
Yeah.
of Nick and Charlie. I don't know though. I think there'll be more. Because
Ellen
Yeah.
Tao was
Ellen
my
Tao.
second
Ellen Tao,
guess.
yep.
yeah, because we
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
we saw a lot of
They
Nick
were
and Charlie.
so
That's
cute.
all the scenarios I can think of have probably already been done either in the show or in the comic. So
That's a great point.
Ellie and Tao just kind of, they're a secondary relationship. So perhaps we'll see some more of them.
That is what AO3 does. They like to add in the bits others have missed.
There's Bad Boys are quite pop. I don't know how they're going to handle Ben, because AO3 tends to go two different ways. They're either going to despise him, or we're going to see a lot of redemption arc stuff for him. Yeah.
Ugh.
I am biting my tongue quite hard because I know exactly how AO3 handled all of these
Okay.
situations.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be a...
You're forgetting a pairing that is quite popular. If you want
Tara
me to.
and Darcy.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my
Oh,
other.
I didn't forget. They were my favourite.
Darcy was
pairing.
my favourite character in the TV
Yep.
show, I have to say. She was the chaos that I felt the show needed.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Darcy. I'd like to see more of Isaac, because Isaac just didn't give a fuck. He was
Yep.
great.
Isaac was barely in it, and I felt like he deserved more screen time.
Yeah, he did. You know.
Mhm.
I literally know nothing about him. He was just
Yeah,
there,
and-
and then he was gone again. I was like, come back.
Mhm.
Who
He's
I
a
else?
love
big
that he was
lad, and
always
that's kind
reading
of
this
it.
book, unbothered.
Yeah, absolutely. Just nothing phased him.
How we all
Yes.
aspire to be
I'd
content.
quite like to see more of the teachers as well, come to think of it. I don't know how prominent they are in the comics, but
They are
They-
quite prominent in the comics.
oh,
Yeah.
good.
I'm truly sitting here with like my head in my hands, being like, I know so many things. Let me explain to you all the things. But I'm like, all right, don't ruin it yet. Don't ruin it.
Yes. I imagine the comics are much further ahead
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Much further
I
ahead.
wasn't sure how much the TV show had covered in that.
The TV show covered the first 2 volumes of the
Mhm.
Heartstopper comic series. So there are 4 total volumes in the Heartstopper series, but they are part of the sort of broader universe. So there are other stories like Solitaire, and like there are other sort of within that world. So it's the first season of the Netflix series covered the first 2 books of specifically Nick and Charlie's story in that universe. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's
sense.
lots more to go through, which I'm very
Okay.
excited about.
Well,
Well, excited is the wrong word because it starts to get dark. But anyway.
Yup.
oh, really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. So
Interesting.
do you want me to go
Oh,
forward down
please.
that path? Okay. So
This, I should say before we start, we tend to just ignore any spoiler tags
Great.
talking on the show. Anyone listening who isn't familiar with that, this is your warning.
great. Us too. We also do
All right,
that.
well, I'm going to hop
Yeah.
off. Goodbye, everyone.
Alan,
Sorry.
stop
I'm
that.
just kidding. Just
If you close your laptop, you'll never get back.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we always go spoilies, and then we just say whatever we're gonna say. So Heartstopper covers Nick and Charlie, and Charlie has canonically an eating disorder. He has anorexia.
Oh.
And
okay.
you can see that kind of peppered into the Netflix show if you kind of know, or if you're familiar with what those signs are. They are there to be seen, but they're very easy to miss.
Yeah.
And he also has some experiences with self-harm and just general mental health crises. He has OCD. And in the later series, he does go into like inpatient treatment for those things. Nick, by comparison, he has an older brother who is very homophobic and treats him really poorly. So you don't meet him in the Netflix series, but anybody who is familiar with the later comics is all like, we got seasons 2 and 3. Oh, wait, no. We got seasons 2 and 3. Oh,
no.
it's about to get real. But like the nice thing about the show, I think, is that they have found ways to handle very difficult topics with a kind of like kindness, and like it's almost gentle.
It's gentle is the word.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yes.
where you just don't. It's not the same as the like dark, gripping teen reality, like whatever. It's like yeah, they cover the dark things. Like it's obviously difficult that Charlie goes through like all this homophobia and Nick has this like deep sexuality crisis, but it's handled so gently and so kindly that it doesn't feel impossible to handle. But yeah, when the announcements came out, everybody was like, "Yay!" Oh, wait a minute.
I did wonder because I'd stopped following the comics a long time ago, and then of course I saw like all the memes and shit. And I was like, people who know it, people who don't know, and I was like, oh god, what's going on? And no one was saying anything. It was like memes without context, and I was just like, oh god, what happens to these children?
They're fine in the end, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good.
I kind of hope so, but like you know, me and my girlfriend watched it. We're like, oh, there's a second series coming up, and I'm now thinking like, should I watch it or not?
So it depends. I think probably of the media that's out there, like I think the way that they portray a lot of these difficult topics is like the least triggering it could possibly be, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So Alice Oseman, the author of the series, is like extremely thoughtful about those things, and it is in charge of writing the scripts for the TV show. So it's a direct, pretty much adaptation of of the comics that they wrote, and so I trust them to like not to like shift the tone of the show so hard, like dark or triggering. God. I don't think it would make sense. That's not the tone of the comics either. Like it's just not. So.
Yeah, for God's sake, don't.
Yeah, I don't.
How upset would you be if they Riverdaled it?
All right.
How
Why
dare you?
would you speak that into the
I think it would be
Yes.
very funny.
Why
but
would you say that?
That would be the last straw for me.
I'd be very
emotionally.
I'd be glad if it happened because you've got something like sort of nice and representative, but if it just cuts to it one day, they're all played by 30-year-olds having like weird.
Yeah, no.
It would be very funny.
No.
Briefly.
Oh, Jim.
Sorry,
No.
Yeah,
I've jinxed it
Why would
now.
you do this to our lovely guests?
The good news is I don't think that's going to happen.
I get the impression it won't, but
Yeah.
God, imagine if it.
No. I'm not even going
Okay,
to
I'm
entertain
sorry.
this possibility. Actually, it's something I did like immediately when I saw it. I was like, oh my goodness, they haven't gotten stupid, conventionally attractive people to play all the characters. They've just got normal children sort of being. I was like, oh my god, they've got acne and everything.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. This is so good to see for once.
The cast has talked a lot about that in interviews, actually. I also, hi everyone, I spend a lot of time in like hyperfixations on fandoms, and Netflix, Heartstopper has been mine recently, so I've watched a lot of like the press tours and followed along with some of the social media pushes and stuff. And Joe Locke in particular, that poor boy who plays Charlie, is like, the number of times people have said, I'm so glad they didn't cast conventionally attractive actors in this role. And he's like, thanks. Ouch.
Yeah.
That poor kid. But like, I think what we're getting at, and it's a true thing, is that most high school shows cast like 30-year-old, like basically like Abercrombie models to play like 17-year-old kids, and it feels like awful as an actual kid to look at somebody and be like, oh, like I'm a gremlin. Like, so yeah,
Why don't I look like this utterly generic attractive person?
right. So casting like true,
That's
like
it.
they are all like 17, 18, 19, 20, like true, like kids of that age who are like perfectly lovely or whatever, but like they are not that like Hollister model aesthetic. That's cool.
Exactly. They've not hit the 20-year-old adult polished phase. They're still in their awkward gangly phase, which is perfect.
Exactly. And that is a super valuable thing just to exist in the universe.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
We should probably jump into the fix unless there's anything else we want to add.
I love this show. That's what I have to add.
You couldn't tell, I don't think, but that's a good fun fact.
Yep. Just to be clear, I can brook no criticism of this show.
And if any characters come up in the fix that we don't know of, because I think most of us are show people. Don't know about Alan, if you read the
I have.
comics. Okay. I have no knowledge of the comics, so if any names come up, I'm going to be turning to you, be like, who is this?
Great.
We've got you.
This is quite good because, of course, we can explain all the British secondary school stuff,
Yes.
and Erin and Alan can explain all the characters we don't know about yet.
I love this.
Great.
that are lurking
Equal
just around the
exchange.
corner.
I'm
What a
trying to think
cultural
if there's any-
exchange. Alan!
I'm not even sure what there'd be that's sort of unique British school stuff.
I did
And
not know
there's
what the word
Croggies.
form meant.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not Google it either, to be fair. But and there are sort of like little Britishisms that you might not even clock as something that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But I had
true.
no idea what a form was.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you see, Jim, I was trying to sort of talk us up and sort of like make it
Make us
look like
sound
we actually
smarter
know
than we are.
something.
Yeah, yeah, we're not. But we'll try. Okay, let's jump into the fix then, shall we? See
Right,
if we
let's
can
do
find
it.
anything fun. So,
I've already found a tag I like.
oh yeah.
No beta, we die like Nick's heterosexuality.
Oh my
I
god.
love the no beta we die like
Yeah.
blank
Yes.
joke. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
fandom inside jokes.
So I'm enjoying the tags on this one at least. I have not read any further. This is a poster of a teenage crush by Mercutio, not Romeo.
Great name.
Usually not Romeo.
Did I read that right? Yes. No spaces and several words made it hard. The tag I specifically like is Whiny Nick Nelson Supremacy, which is how you have to read it with all the exclamation marks.
Brilliant.
Along with newsflash, teenagers are whiny when they have sex for the first time, and not enough people write it. So it sounds like this is the authentic first-time experience,
Oh dear.
which...
Someone's
Oh no, it's first dates you guys covered on your first episode. I was listening earlier, so I was like, this is similar to what you were doing.
Don't open
Huh?
that can of worms because we did first date for our most recent episode. And I sent a Heartstopper fic that was not a first date fic.
Oh, no.
You all ever just set a theme? You set a tag that you both agree on, and then one of you just completely
Opts just
like
not to do
says
it.
"fuck you" and sends something else.
Sometimes
Well, we agreed the
Rule-
theme, but this is good. You should just read it.
rules are made to be broken. And also they didn't have a good fic in time for me to send one, but I wanted to talk about Heartstopper, so I decided that it would be fine and that Alan and my friendship would survive the inevitable damage.
I hope it did.
It did. It's fine.
Verdict: jury's still out.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
How many more
Trying to-
times do I have to feed you dinner in order to make up for the fic that I sent your way?
2.5.
Great. Doable. That's fine. The running joke is that I always feed Alan on recording days.
Ooh,
It's lovely.
Yeah.
That's
useful.
nice.
Don't get any ideas, guys. Just two
mate,
of you.
I would
I
drive
can't.
the 3 hours to Cambridge if you were going to fucking feed me.
That's bold. I'm not a good cook.
You somehow managed to find a Heartstopper fic I haven't already read.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah. Well
So,
done.
interestingly, I've sort of been keeping an eye on this fandom since we agreed on doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And it has it's not quite our flag means death kind of
Mhm.
skyrocketing,
Yep.
but it has gone up. It was like 500 last time
Mhm.
we talked about a month ago. So, yeah, it doubled in that time.
Yeah,
So
it's
hopefully there'll be... Unless you're really aggressive at refreshing these tags and just searching every day, which maybe you are.
correct.
Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, no, I also, so when you said, all right, I'm going to pull this up and sort by kudos and all that kind of stuff, I did the same, and I'm reading through them, and they're all, you know how when you click a link, it changes to gray instead of red?
Mm-hmm.
Like, most of them are gray.
Ah.
I've read most of these at this point.
Oh, wow. Well, in this one it looks like they bring biting in, which is bold for a first time.
Is this the moment where I am like, so I'm very asexual?
Ah.
I think this is the moment I come out to the universe. Again.
Well, congratulations. We don't have to go into too much detail if you'd rather not.
It's totally fine.
Okay.
Have you listened to our podcast?
I was gonna
I
say
have.
Erin
Yeah, that's what I
reads
was
this
thinking.
as
Like-
recreation.
Fuck it, I'll say it. So it's when we start comparing to real life experiences where I go, I'm too ace for this, and move along.
Oh, here we go. Hang on. I found something which has the potential to be rather sweet. This is called the BFF Conundrum by Go Home Get Ahead Lightspeed Internet.
Is that an advert?
Which I don't know. I didn't think they had sort of adverts in internet names on AO3, to be fair, but there we go.
Oh god, imagine if trolls and like marketing got onto AO3. I think I'd die. This isn't a fic, this is an advert. Why you need the new Ford, whatever it is.
So you're talking about fanfiction.net then?
Ah, don't remind me.
That's why I love AO3.
I miss that site. It used to be pure.
Did it? Did it?
No.
Yeah, well,
As
not in that
pure
way.
as fanfiction can be.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the sounds of things, this was Nick and Tao. They've never really got on, obviously. But apparently then Charlie is committed to the psychiatric hospital, and it turns out they need each other more than they think. Or how Nick Nelson became friends with Tao Su.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'd quite like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed their interactions in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if a bromance develops there. It might not, but I liked their dynamic, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I might read this. It's platonic slow burn, brief mentions of Charlie's mental health struggles, some hurt comfort but mostly fluff. Over-dramatises Tao's hatred of Marvel and Proud.
Nice.
And author is not British, and you can tell.
Oh.
Ah.
A good disclaimer.
I might read a bit of this and see how close they got to secondary school in Britain.
Okay. Let's have a look.
Alan, should I just send the same fic as the one that I sent you? Because it is one of the top-rated ones on AO3.
Go for it.
You are free to.
Will I owe you 3 dinners at that point?
Yeah, it will round us up to
Okay.
to an even 3.
Great. Food is expensive. Maybe I won't do that.
At least you've got the same work ethic as me and Grace. Yeah, everything's recycled over here, even our jokes.
I was gonna say I'm tossing one into the Discord now, called "Look Now, the Sky Is Gold" by Kiss Me in New York on Archive of Our Own, and this seems like really sweet and like lovely. Has an emphasis on talking about. So the premise is that Nick is at university and Charlie is obviously still behind because he's a year behind, and he says that that Nick's mom has been like checking in on Charlie and like they're getting closer, and I love that. Especially because Nick's mom starts to play a bigger role as the story develops, but it's just so sweet and like that found family kind of aspect to it that is like so heartwarming.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I love this.
And I'm glad the mum's getting more involved as well, because they cast Olivia Colman, and I figured, okay, hopefully you're
shocked.
going to be more important, because
Yeah, she's a big name.
I didn't know she
Why
was
were
in
you
it. I saw her on the screen and I was like, is
Oh,
that Olivia
yeah.
Colman? They got her for this?
Oh,
Because I was like, I remember. Oh, because when I saw the show, I had only read about half of what was out. I'd only read the first 2 volumes, so I had the fully true, like, I only read as far as the Netflix show went when I saw the Netflix show, and so I didn't know how much more the mom gets involved. So I was just like, wow, they got her for what is like 20 minutes of screen time? Good for them. But then it made more sense when I read further.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're playing the long game with that.
yeah, that sounds it.
Yeah, her acting chops are going to sort of come into their own later on in the story.
Oh, I'm sure. I love her. It's a great choice.
Have you seen Peep Show?
No.
Okay, she is. That was a
No.
before she was famous role. She is the love interest in Peep Show for David Mitchell, and it is very strange to see them see how she is perceived now as like sort of Oscar-winning, good actress versus the stuff she gets up to in Peep Show. So that's something to look into.
Peep Show was dire.
It's very cringe humor. Like, it's all filmed from like a first-person perspective, and there's a lot of scarily relatable moments with some characters.
Yeah, it's sort of like dark comedy, isn't
Yeah. It's just unusual to see her in compared to now. Shitty student Wi-Fi is incredibly relatable. Looking at this fic,
Hey!
like, my halls were not very good. Very good at not blocking any piracy websites, though. So that was a win.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yep.
Used to stock up on shows before going back home.
nice.
So I had someone else post something there.
This regrets fic, yeah, is like, I'm excited to read that. I'm intrigued.
I saw all the tags. I was like, I don't need to read anymore. I love the tags. I'm sure I will
no.
like
it. Angst with a happy ending. Oh, but how much angst? How much?
Oh.
That is always the risk you take when you see that tag. Slowish burn is always promising. It's nice to not just have porn without plot.
I've never watched Dancing on the Line.
Well, it's not porn at all because it's rated teen. But
The tag that says, okay, let's be real. Enemy and very confused golden retriever to lovers.
yes. This is just a self-indulgent excuse for me to write all the tropes I like. Fair. I have no clue how rugby works. Sorry, neither do I.
Okay, it's...
I have never watched Dancing on Ice, but I love the idea of it. I have been forced to watch
Oh,
Dancing
no.
on Ice.
So, to set everything aside, Americans, it's just what you call football, but without the armor.
I was gonna ask. I was like, so do
Yeah.
you know how to play rugby?
Me and Nick have played rugby in
Ooh.
school.
Well.
We sort of stood at the back like the
Sorry.
wimps we are, while the muscular lads were like, "Go on, get in there! Go on, tackle him! Go on, go on!"
Scrum.
Yeah.
So basically, there were two versions of rugby. There was normal rugby, which all the sports lads used to go and play, and it was the proper stuff, you know, where they used to knock 8 bells out of each other and then come home like covered in crap and stuff like that. We also used to play tag rugby, where instead of tackling, you'd have like a little belt around your waist with 2 Velcro straps. And like a tackle was like yank one of the straps off this belt, and then you'd have to sort of give the ball up.
Yeah, we have flag football, which is very, very similar.
Uh-huh.
We were usually playing tag rugby and trying to stay at the back. You know.
Genius. I would have been right there with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
Girls weren't allowed to play any kind of rugby. We got given hockey
Yeah, you
and
had
netball.
hockey, which is
Oh.
equally violent, to be
I was
honest,
gonna
because you've got the
say.
sticks.
Hockey
We're working through some
was
aggression
brutal.
over there.
Yeah, we weren't allowed mouth guards and anything. Considering a stick's supposed to stay on the floor, I can't count how many times I got hit in the face with a fucking stick
Oh.
by Shannon. Fuck you, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon.
Yeah, fuck you, Shannon.
It's okay, she's doing worse than me now. I won.
It was the long play.
Yep.
Long run, that's right.
My favourite thing to do was if standing at the back and trying to stay out of the way didn't work, was, are we being graded on this, sir? No? Right, I'll see you back at the changing
Cool.
room then. I've had enough.
I'm good now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This
Yeah.
is great.
So fun.
That
Mine-
said, the year 10 changing rooms were as much of an ordeal as the rugby pitch, to be honest, because the air is more Lynx Africa, which you guys will call Axe,
Yes.
it is
Yup.
than it is oxygen, so you just sort of have to go in and hope for the best.
Yeah.
I don't miss
you make
PE
it
changing
out.
rooms.
Yeah, every time you walked in, it was just like having an industrial bout of hay fever.
Oh.
The atmosphere would be that of a 70s pub, but of course you couldn't light anything because it would just all go up in flames, you know.
That's
To clarify, we
technically
weren't
arson.
lighting anything. in
Yeah,
the
it'd be
changing
like a
rooms.
gas explosion, you know,
Oh,
that sort of thing.
dear.
Yeah, one big
my God.
woomph and that would be it, you know.
Not a wolf.
You've brought me back to my high school days. There
Yup.
was
Sorry.
definitely like you had to walk past the locker rooms to get to certain classrooms, and the boys, oh man, that boys' locker room, we were like, that seems like a torture chamber. I don't think you should allow
Yes.
people in there. I think it needs a
Yeah.
window, like badly.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice to know that something's never changed no matter where in the world you go.
Yeah, there's some universal truths.
experience.
And the awfulness of physical education is one of them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So this is a full-on... There's more to this. There's other fics. There's one called Rugby Lad and the Ice Skater that this is based on,
Yes.
by the looks of it. Yeah, inspired by Rugby
Um,
Lad and the Ice Skater by Milkovich Bitch.
Milkovich,
Which is a
bitch,
hell of a
incredible.
Milkovich bitch.
I love the names on
Yeah.
this site.
Always pleasantly surprised. So this is kind of like Yuri on Ice, but more British,
Oh my god.
is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, just
love
because it's
it.
got ice skating on it doesn't mean it's Yuri on Ice. but
That's all I
mean,
know
yeah,
about Yuri on Ice, Grace, so I'm just going to run with it.
I watched Yuri on Ice on his account.
Yeah, you did.
I watched all of it on his account.
You're welcome.
It changed his search history forever.
Yeah,
It's so good.
sure did.
It's like, why have I got so much anime on it? why are there so many boys in like a unconfirmed gay relationship?
A lot of friendship in the show, eh?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like they never kiss, so it's just heavily implied
Mm-hmm.
they do all the damn time. It's so annoying.
Yep.
Ugh,
Fun times.
fun times indeed. I had a hell of a time. I ate all your snacks as well.
You did it in my
Very
house. I didn't realise that much.
Yeah, you were away seeing like friends in Hull, and I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna go to your house.
I knew
'cause
you.
I've got a
I knew
key.
you watched Yuri on Ice on my account. I thought you logged in elsewhere. I didn't realise it was when you
No,
physically
I
came
was-
to
I
my
was
house.
sat on your sofa,
Ate all my
helping
snacks,
myself
which
to
I
your
didn't know.
snacks on your television.
Was this where you went round and hid loads of stuff in his house?
Yeah.
And videoed it for us all?
There's a
Yes.
video.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
For research purposes, we'll need to see that as well.
I haven't seen the video. This is.
He's got. I left pictures of like Margaret
You
Thatcher
did.
under the toilet.
I found some of
saying,
them.
Hey, oh, nice
I found a lot of them. I had David Cameron, who was the British Prime Minister, on my bedside table when I got home. I remember that much.
Oh yeah. I think Margaret Thatcher also made it to your like bedroom
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yes, she did.
Lie in bed and there she was. Just, hey.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, I knew of some of these.
It's
I'm
to
gonna
be
have
fair,
to see this video
you
at
did-
some point.
Yes. If we can find it, that needs to resurface. But to be fair, Jim, you did exactly the same at my house.
Did
Warming
do the
Power.
same thing to you, and I have no
And I
regrets.
didn't find some of these things for fucking months.
I didn't leave Thatcher there.
No, you didn't. You didn't stoop that low.
So, Aaron, you've posted something.
Do you want to fic about Charlie looking at Nick's butt?
You know what? I do. Sorry, Aaron. We'll
For
come back to
variety.
the one you posted.
Seconded.
Yeah, this is it.
So Erin, what's it
I'll
called?
drink to butts and thighs. Go on, then.
Okay, so this is called I'll Drink to Butts and Thighs by Vexed to Chaos, and the summary is the first time Charlie sees Nick's butt, I don't know.
Okay.
So basically, it's, I don't know if you guys, well, you probably have had this sort of moment in a relationship with your significant other where it's the first time you see parts of their body which you haven't seen before.
The butt,
And you're just
usually.
like, wow, I've thought about this, but this is brilliant, that sort of thing, you know.
I've thought about this. I've drawn it in my diary, and now it's finally time.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, you're going out with somebody, and it's the first few dates, and then you get to thinking, like, yeah, well, what do they look like naked? And then it happens, and you're like, wow, this is great, you know, that sort of thing.
There's so much to unpack here, to be honest.
Remember at the top of this podcast when I said I'm too ace for this?
Yeah, okay, yeah, granted.
So no, but live your truth, okay?
No, that is fair enough. I apologise, but
This is just Nick having
And
too
does
much
this-
fun. He's just like, I fondly remember the day I saw someone's ass for the first time.
I guess
myself.
that's my question. Does that no longer happen? Like, when you see a significant other's butt, are you now just like, eh?
no, of course it happens.
Oh, good. Okay, I was worried.
You're gonna get him in trouble.
Of course it happens. I love Sophie very, very much.
Be very careful how you proceed from this.
Tread lightly.
Okay.
I'm so lucky that Sophie doesn't move in similar circles to what I do. But
Oh, I'm
there we go.
messaging her right now. Nick says she
Oh my
he
God.
doesn't... I'm sorry, no, Will.
You might want to listen to this next episode.
Yes.
But the thing is, they play rugby together,
Yeah, they
which
do.
means they use the same changing room.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
Yeah, but eyes to the wall. That's the
Yeah.
rule,
Is it?
isn't it?
Sometimes.
Yeah, it is in the girls' changing room.
Oh, okay.
That's always what it was.
Huh.
God forbid there's a lesbian in there looking at your tits or something.
I don't know. I saw
Apparently.
a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people, but the men's changing room. Sometimes you just see things.
I have heard that in the men's there's always someone who just
Yeah.
walks around with their cock out who doesn't give a fuck. But I thought that was more like when they're blokes, like men blokes. What the fuck am I on about? When they're grown men.
when they're men blokes.
Men blokes. When they're men blokes. me down. I've been on this planet too long.
It's time to go.
Confusing me.
I don't think there was anyone quite like that in our high school.
No, I can't remember
Okay.
suddenly turning around and being faced with the last turkey in the shop, to be fair. But, you know.
Okay, well, who knows then? Maybe Charlie won't have seen anything until... He'll have definitely seen Nick's legs and thighs, though.
Yeah,
'cause-
I mean, there is a line in here where he's like, Charlie felt blessed from the gods that rugby shorts were so little and allowed him the perfect view of Nick's thighs, the light fuzzy hairs on them that led into his shorts, and areas of Nick's body Charlie has only seen in his dreams. So, yeah.
I will also say that, like, if you have, like, feelings for someone, I don't know that, like, and if I was in that position in the locker room, I try to, like, not look. I don't, because the last thing you want to do is
Oh,
get
that's
caught
true.
looking.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
just like, look
Yeah.
at the ceiling.
Yeah.
When are they replacing these
fair.
tiles?
Yeah. The
It's
answer is
true.
never to that
Yeah.
second
Yeah,
bit.
exactly. There were 36 fluorescent tubes in the ceiling of my childhood school. I counted them many times.
Didn't realise.
No,
Wow.
absolutely. You
What
you
the
wouldn't
hell?
want to be caught staring. It's a no-no.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so maybe he won't have seen them then. Okay.
I have sent a fic to the chat that is
Yes.
very different. Would you like me to speak about it?
I'd love to.
Yes.
Great. I sent a fic. I went back through my bookmarks because this is one that I had fun with. It is called A Little Slice of Heaven by Knights Errand, and it is a crossover between Heartstopper and Check Please, which is a different webcomic that Alan is apparently
Oh
familiar
my
with.
god, I love Check Please.
Yeah, so they're hockey players, and they in this AU, and Nick bakes pies as like his love language.
That's a
Hey,
great
nice.
love language.
It's super cute, and he has to teach Charlie how to actually check somebody and not freak out,
Aw.
and it's really cute. I had a great
Oh,
time
this
with
is
it.
nice.
So this is Heartstopper with a Check Please skin. It's not like
Yeah.
a true like crossover.
Okay.
Yeah.
And checking in hockey is a tackle, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's when you basically like use your whole body to shove somebody into the boards. And this is specifically ice hockey. And so you just like send someone flying
Aha.
with as much violence as you can muster.
That is such a smart like fusion because
Mm-hmm.
of the whole trying to teach Charlie how to tackle in rugby.
Yep,
Mhm.
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. That was particularly sweet.
it was really cute.
I still like the
Yeah,
idea of Nick just making pies. I don't know. I just think
There's
it
a
suits him.
remarkable
It's like,
number of Nick
Oh.
as bakery owner or Nick as like particularly chipper barista fics in this fandom. It happens a lot.
Interesting.
Read like at least 7
Oh,
of them.
really?
So yeah, we've collectively decided that Nick likes to bake. I don't know.
Hey, nice.
Aw.
I really hope there's people out there whose love language is just making pies, because that's...
You
That's
need to
fantastic.
find one of these people, really, don't
I
you?
do. If anyone out there likes making pies as a love language, write in to the fanshippingforecast@gmail.com and
CC the Fic List at gmail.com.
CC the
Yeah.
ficklist at
If there's more
gmail.com
than one of you.
and yeah, post pies.
Is there a mermaid crossover yet? Because there's always a mermaid crossover somewhere. And usually I find it first
Oh,
by
yeah.
accident. I'm just hoping someone else has so I can just sort of shift to the stereotype that's followed me on this show.
Erin is the one, so we can pretend that Grace found it.
I'm checking.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on a minute.
How dare you? I can't believe I'm being set up like this.
On the plus side, I'm not seeing any of the... Is it Harry? The asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry.
I was expecting possibly Harry redemption fics, because, he's a bad boy. I'm not seeing any yet, and that's a
No.
good sign, because he
That's
deserved
good.
that punch in the face.
He did.
Indeed.
100%.
I will
And-
say the nice thing to answer the question that was posed at the top of this recording that I bit my tongue on. No, there is not much love in the fandom for either Harry or Ben. Frankly, everybody hates Ben.
That's fair.
And so, yeah, they went that direction as opposed to the redemption arc direction, which I applaud us for.
I can
think
live
that
with
was the
that.
right choice.
That's good.
I'm so glad they do that because I hate it when they're like, oh, but he's hot, therefore we've got to redeem him, and it's like, don't
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
I mean,
For once in your life, just stop.
Grace, I'm sorry to have to break it to you, but I don't think there are any mermaid fics in Heartstopper fandom.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
I'm free! I'm free! I have been unleashed from my bonds.
Hang on, let me write one real quick.
Yeah, oh,
No.
please.
We can make this happen.
If you can make it a Zelda AU involving Prince Sidon, then that's all Grace needs. She's a big fan of the Shark Himbo.
No.
Do we have any particular rules about bringing fics that the hosts actually wrote?
No, because it's never come up.
We're illiterate, therefore it's never needed to come up.
Grace, just because I'm northern doesn't mean I'm illiterate.
I was talking about me.
I mean, yeah, Alan, if you want to bring that, that'll be the funniest thing ever.
Alan won't tell me what his fic author name is.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
He's holding on to it so he can eventually send me a fic that he wrote, have me eviscerated on our podcast, and then look me dead in the eye and say,
It was
I
me
wrote
all
that
I
fic."
wrote that.
Oh.
It's gonna be so sweet. You're
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah.
see it coming. It's gonna be
Years in the
great.
making at this point.
Yup. So
Oh my god.
I didn't quite find like a fanfic, but so one of the things that Alice Oseman likes to do is they ask a lot of people to come on and do like guest comics with the characters. So one of these was was a Little Mermaid AU. So pop that on the in the chat for
There
you.
it is.
Oh god.
So
You're welcome, Grace.
I realize it's a guest.
Thanks.
It's a guest artist, but does this
Mhm.
technically count
Yes.
as it being canon for the purposes of Grace's fish love?
How
Oh, it's Nick as a mermaid.
I like how they've actually got Dover in the background though.
Hey, yeah, it is.
Oh, good.
Shit, they've done research.
Do you want your mermaid boyfriend to be swimming in the English Channel?
No.
No, he's full of fucking diseases if he
Yeah.
is. Jesus Christ. If he's not popping out with like a can of Stella ring or something round his neck or whatever, he's
I know.
losing points on realism.
I know, poor mermaid Nick. It must get really tiresome dodging all the shipping lanes, mustn't
Yeah.
it? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is adorable art, incidentally.
It is, yeah.
It's so cute.
Oh, I love the colouring.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna read it on principle.
But it's so sweet.
Grace.
I'll read it in my spare time when no one knows I'm doing it.
It'll be my secret.
Alright.
When you can weep in private.
I'll tell you what I think about it later, early in the hours of the morning.
Perfect.
So I have something here. Maybe you guys can help me with it. It's called You Start This Fire. Some of them are firefighters, and I can't figure. I'm just skimming, trying to figure out who.
I love a firefighter AU.
I think it's Darcy.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah. I think this is Big Lady Firefighters,
I love it.
which I think is something we can all get behind.
Yes.
Captain Nick Nelson. Yeah, Darcy is one of them.
Yeah, let's have a look at where this is going.
Nick's doing a smoke detector presentation at one point.
As is his right.
Charlie tried not to stare at the firefighter, dressing himself in his full protective gear. So, Charlie's not a firefighter and is just sort of smitten by the looks of it.
Oh, he's the teacher. Yeah.
Aren't
Okay, that
we
makes
all?
sense.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, that's hot, Darcy commented. Well, it is a fire.
Nice.
I'm sure he'd use his hose to put out the fire in your pants if you asked nicely. Darcy first.
Classic.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, this is very Darcy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This looks like fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I approve of this one.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know firefighter AU was a thing, but I'm
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
glad it is.
Oh, that's so big.
It's such a thing.
I've not seen it before.
Really?
No, it's like it's escaped
It's
us.
mostly coffee shops we see.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of coffee shops.
Coffee
Yeah.
shops and bloody under the sea. It's just,
I mean, does AO3 have an algorithm?
No.
I don't
it
think
better
so.
not have.
It does not.
It would explain a lot, though.
I was just trying to work out, like, how Grace gets all these
Fish.
fish people.
I thought we definitely moved on to this and somehow we're back on it.
So I've only got one more theory, and that's you're actively looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm not.
There's no shame in it, Grace.
No,
The
No,
first
no.
step is accepting you have a
That-
problem.
It's funny, I keep hearing you just like with your smooth tones, just come in with things that rattle me ever so much.
Welcome to my life,
it.
Grace.
That is my specialty.
How
Oh
Alan
my
works.
god. Oh, he's a force of nature.
Unfortunately, Alan is the funny one in our friendship.
No, that's not true.
That's
It's
harsh.
100%
funny.
true. Like, you
No.
are so funny, and it's upsetting sometimes because I'm
Hush
like, God damn it, that was so funny. I can't compete.
No.
I just serve to be bullied. That's my lot in life.
It's more like a little ribbing.
A gentle ribbing.
Yeah, my body is a xylophone at this point. I don't need it.
So, you know the other kind of AU we often see that isn't just fish people?
Dragons?
ABOs.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
mint and strawberries.
Oh god, yeah.
Charlie is an Omega who is accidentally placed in a dorm room with an Alpha.
Oh no.
It's
Yeah.
the alpha.
What
isn't he?
happens when his heat cycle comes around?
This is Erin's favorite tag, actually.
You shut your mouth.
Grace, I think ABO is Erin's fish people. Actually, now that I'm thinking
It
about
is
it.
my white
No.
whale. I cannot avoid it.
I mean, it is everywhere.
ABO, I understand it's a thing in the fandom. It has a long and storied history. People really get into it.
Yes, it
I
does.
hate it. I hate it. It drives me up a wall. Oh, no. No, thank you.
Oh.
It's such a weird premise. Isn't it?
It's
Not
so,
to kink shame,
it's so
to be
contrived, Grace. Grace, let me
know.
let me just go down this rabbit hole. Like, it's such a contrivance, and there's this whole structure, and I'm like, who decided that this is what this was gonna be? Like, who made up these
I know.
rules? I don't understand.
I feel like they just sort of cherry picked what they liked.
I mean, I do know where it came
Oh,
from.
God.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you did know.
Yeah.
You can find the original forum post. It's
Yeah.
out there. In the Supernatural forum.
Yeah.
Yes, they are to blame for this.
Have you been following along with the the court case about this?
I've not been following along. I'm aware of
Yeah.
that there's an ABO court
Yeah.
case going
Yeah.
on. Lindsay Ellis did a video on it.
Yeah.
a
Oh,
couple years
I remember
ago.
you telling me about
Yeah.
it. I thought it was like in the annals of history.
It
not,
was
like,
very funny
recent.
that this had to be discussed in a courtroom, and I'm glad people are still discussing it in a courtroom.
Yep.
I love the idea of being a lawyer who spent years training and understanding all this serious stuff, only to have to talk about wolf porn.
Yep. According to fan lore, the end of that trial was in July of 2020.
Oh,
So this is a
Wow.
recent development in fandom history.
I'll have to read some more.
I'm sorry for my outburst.
what
It was
did they
remarkably
learn?
unprofessional.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Honestly, it's fine. Since I was sort of brought in as the person who knows nothing about fanfiction whatsoever, it was one of the more what the fuck moments that I've experienced on this podcast.
Yeah.
Not to yuck anyone's yum or kink shame or anything like that.
Right.
It just took me by surprise.
Nick, are you familiar with the term squick?
Oh,
Squick.
I'm not
No.
familiar with
Okay.
Squick.
No?
I'm gonna traumatize Alan now. We love this word. Squick truly
great
means it's a term for a thing that you do not like or that makes you uncomfortable but does not trigger
Ah.
you, but you don't want to cast any judgment or blame on it. It just squicks me. It's not a thing that I don't like.
I think I
Oh,
might have
that's
to
a good
borrow
one.
that.
It's a great
Yeah.
word. It just
Yeah.
makes Alan gag a little every time I say it because the word is akin to moist in his vocabulary in terms of
Ooh.
the word
I was-
itself.
Squicks me.
Yeah, he hates. Yeah.
I was just thinking moist, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. So I love that terminology. It's like an old fandom. It doesn't get tossed around much anymore, but it was one that was very much part of my fandom upbringing. Where it's like, oh, this squicks me, and you're like, okay, and there's no judgment conferred or anything like that. It's just a
Yeah,
thing that
that's
I
good.
find uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's worth
I'm-
remembering.
Cool.
I'm glad that we've got a word for it now.
Mhm.
Yeah, we may have to borrow that.
Incidentally, in this ABO fic, Nick is also a baker.
And it all comes full circle.
Yeah.
Wow!
He's an alpha that also does baked goods.
Incredible.
Oh my
Multi-talented.
god.
Yeah. So apparently he gets sent into heat because of the smell of strawberry mint from a candle, which Nick lights, and then...
Oh, I thought it was going to be a
Yeah, I definitely thought
Oh,
it was going
that'd
to be
be
a pie.
so good!
that love language.
Oh, that apple
coming out.
pie, I'm in heat now! Oh no!
Oh no. Surely that'd be banned in society if like that was the sort of thing that would
Maybe
happen,
it's
you know?
maybe everyone has a
Sucking
different
sex
trigger
candles.
that sets them off and sends them into heat.
Oh, have they got their own
I've
law
no
for
idea.
this?
I'm just assuming. That would make sense to me if everyone had like a different.
Trigger.
This is surprisingly wholesome. It'll take a while for my knot to calm down, so how about we just cuddle? And then they cuddle.
Perfection.
That's as Alpha, Beta, Omega
Ah,
fics
yes.
go. That's quite wholesome.
That's true.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
it is, but it still squicks me.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll move away from.
Man, they got right into it too.
Yeah.
As much as I don't particularly want to, I can see a deep dive into ABO in my future.
Yeah. I mean,
What, on your own time? Or?
I mean,
No!
I believe someone did say if us three ever go on the Fic List, we get to pick what tag we cover.
That's
It's
true.
true.
Don't do this to the poor woman. She's literally just been like, "Please no," and we're just like, how about the one she hates?
Listen,
as well?
Erin knows that at some
yeah.
point we have to do it. It's one of the
Yeah.
biggest tags on
Yeah.
AO3.
It's a when,
Oh.
not an if at this point. I've accepted my fate.
Ah.
I'm really, really sorry, Erin. I just thought that if I was going to do this, we may as well get some content out of it.
Right. 100%. That's the point. It's like, all right, fine.
We
I guess
appreciate
this
the
will be
hustle.
funny. Whatever. Yeah. I'm not
We'll
looking
see.
forward to that day.
I mean, to be honest, I was torn for what we bring because there is one topic I know you two will never cover,
Which is what?
Ooh.
and that's heterosexual as a tag. And I thought it'd be really funny to be like, right, we're here,
squicks
we're doing straight stuff now.
We have to talk about the straights. All right.
Yeah, I thought that would be quite funny, but now I'm torn because
No.
I would do ABO
Plus there's,
before
like-
I did.
I'd rather
Okay.
do ABO, to be honest.
there's probably only like 3 tags or
Yeah.
3 fics with heterosexual ones.
Fair.
We have the straight beacon should anything come up, but it's rare that we use it. Okay, let's see what else we've got.
I have something which has potential to be quite funny, I think. Quite sweet and funny.
Okay.
This is called High on Love by Lovely Clouds, in brackets My Lovely Clouds, because there's lots of S's at the end of it.
Ah, okay.
So the summary is, Nick's eyes have gone very wide and he stopped petting Charlie. What? Charlie asks him. I'm your boyfriend? Nick whispers, his jaw dropping. Or Nick gets his wisdom teeth taken out.
Oh.
It turns out high on painkillers Nick is somewhat of a dumbass and a massive simp for his boyfriend.
Oh my
Very
god.
sweet.
Aw.
One of the tags says, this was made for a very niche audience, points at me, and it's found at Me Too. Me Too,
Too.
Lovely
Yeah,
Clouds.
that
Yep.
sounds
Yeah,
hilarious.
Well,
Oh,
it's
that
like,
made-
it's like the episode of Schitt's Creek, right? When... Am I the only one who... Okay, it's just me
I'm
out in here.
sorry.
One.
There's the episode of Schitt's Creek where Patrick gets his like teeth taken. Like, he gets like his some teeth
Oh my
taken
god,
out.
yes.
Yeah, and
that's
David takes him
right.
home, and they have the whole thing where like David brings him to his apartment and tries to like set him into bed and get him
It's
all ready
last
to go.
season, right?
Yeah, and Patrick is like, I want to have babies with you, and David's like,
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
thanks.
Oh my god.
I've only seen that season once, whereas the others I'd seen like twice now, 2 or 3 times.
That's
While
fair.
I was waiting for the last season.
But that was just one of my favorite moments from that show.
It's very akin to like sick fic, like someone taking care of you at like
Yeah.
your most vulnerable.
Yeah, that can
Yeah.
be quite wholesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a saying, I can't remember who said it, but apparently you discover your true personality when you're coming out of anaesthetic.
Yeah.
That makes
Oh.
sense.
I feel really sad because I've had my teeth taken out, but I didn't get like
Yeah, I
That-
don't remember.
that level of anaesthetic. I got a local one.
Oh, so you just had like a numb mouth kind of moment.
Yeah, I feel like I missed out on Stupid Grace Says Dumb Shit.
Oh,
It's,
well,
the
it's
camera,
okay.
and
I actually,
feel really
there's
sad
actually
about
a
it.
whole show called The Shipping Forecast where we can listen to Grace saying dumb shit for like 3 years.
Go touch yourself.
Touche.
I don't know if it was explained to you guys, Erin and Alan, but what we do is we just huff a load of nitrous oxide before we go on, on air.
Oh,
and it
good.
seems to work. So-
It does explain some things.
Hang on, let me pull mine out of my drawer.
Oh, thank
yes.
I'll be ready to go.
Get on it.
So, skimming through, my favourite line is, Nick, how high are you? And he just responds 6'1".
Yes. Yes. Oh my god, this is gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they have cell phone screenshots. I
Yeah.
love
Yes.
when
I
fics
just
do
saw
that.
that.
Oh my god.
Hey.
People have got together to make this real.
Yeah, somebody's put effort into this. This is nice.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's.
Hey,
a thing.
here's your script. This is what you're gonna text back when I start texting you. Okay? Don't ask questions.
Yeah, not on this one. This one.
Ooh.
Why do I have to say yes, Dad?
Would it? This is probably incredibly pretentious and picky, but there's actually a plot hole on these texts. Sprint is not available in the UK. That is not one of our mobile networks.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. You've been
Yeah.
caught
Currently,
out.
it's not available in the US either. Now it's T-Mobile. It's
Oh.
been absorbed.
Like, technically, it's wrong on two counts.
I think we've got T-Mobile.
We've got
though, right?
T-Mobile.
Yeah, got
Ooh.
T-Mobile. Yeah.
Oh God,
Oh my god, it's expansion.
it's taking over.
When I was younger, I had an ingrowing toenail, and I went under general anaesthetic to have that ripped out.
That's why.
And when I was coming to, I was this teenager laid in the wherever you go recovery. That's the one. That's the word I'm looking for. And I'm sort of laid there, and my mum's by my side and stuff like that. And I'm waking up, and I'm like, "Where am I?" You're in recovery, Nick. You've just had an operation to have your ingrowing toenail out. Oh right. Who's this? Oh, it's your nurse. She's bringing you around. Oh right, okay. Can I have a pound? Why do you want a pound? I just want a pound. Just give me the pound. And apparently, I took this pound off my mum and gave it to the nurse and said, "Thanks very much. That's for you."
Respectful.
At least he was a polite child.
Always tip your nurse.
Yeah. They still never let me live that down.
Nor should they. That's too
Luckily-
good.
I was gonna say, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna let you live
exactly.
it down.
Luckily, the nurse was lovely, and she wasn't fazed by my insulting offer of one British pound.
I mean, we don't normally tip nurses at all, so I'd say that's a win.
Net
Especially
gain.
when £1 is a lot for a child.
Oh my God, I can't believe that you had a toenail done. I had 2 teeth taken removed. You got a recovery room, and I was sent into reception to sit there and like just let the blood soak into a
Oh,
tissue.
no.
What the fuck?
Grace, where was your dentist?
It wasn't a dentist. It was a
Oh
hospital.
dear. Well, I guess that would make sense.
Well,
Yeah, they had to send the dentist person out because he couldn't get the tooth out, so he had to get a stronger dentist.
Stronger dentist.
Thing.
Stronger dentist.
And then I bit him, and then it was like, stop biting me, and then fucking shoved my head back, and then split the tooth he was trying to take out, and then had to dig in there, and I still had bits of tooth coming out my gum for like weeks afterwards. Apparently it was my jaw that was coming through, but never mind.
was there like a ratchet strap attached to your teeth leading outside the window to like a 4x4 or something?
No. They just went old school and put like a stick between them.
How
Keep
buff
it
was the
open.
dentist that we're talking?
Well, the
I'm imagining like The Rock in a lab coat just coming in and be like, right, let's get this going.
Was there?
no, pretty
Wow.
much. Like a bouncer came in.
Have you seen Little Shop of Horrors? Because I feel like
Oh,
this
I've
is.
not. It's on my list.
Really?
Grace doesn't
So
like
long.
musicals.
Oh yeah.
No, this is just Huntingdon.
I have a vision in my head now of like the anaesthetist coming in before the operation says, now Grace, we're just going to put you under general anaesthetic, and your mum's going, you fucking won't, it's cheaper for local.
Oh no.
No, my mum dropped me off and just went to eat at the
Oh
cafeteria.
no, that's worse.
Grace, are you okay? Do you want to talk about anything?
I haven't been okay in years, but thanks for asking. You're the first.
So, I'm about to make everyone a little bit less okay, incidentally, because I found
no.
a fic that might be the least favourite pairing of everyone here.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
So this,
Is it Ben and Harry?
yeah, it is.
Ben and Harry, wow.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
This is
Good on
called
you, Grace.
No Homo. Follow Ben
Oh
and
my
Harry
God.
through this crack fic as they have so much sex in a straight way.
What?
I should mention there is a content warning. There is slurs and sex, and so much of it, if you don't like it, please go away. This is by Dynagonic, and the other line from the summary: no homo, guys. They aren't gay. You can have sex with the same gender without it being homolicious.
Homolicious.
It was the word homolicious that convinced me to post this.
Yup, that would do it.
The real winner is the author note. Mate, I'm so sorry for this, by the way. Like, me and my friend just think we're funny, but we aren't. That's the real winner.
Relatable content.
That should be our fucking tagline.
I think we're funny.
Oh god.
I'm so sorry with the quiff on. Okay, this is definitely a British person writing this because the dialogue is authentic.
Honestly, in it, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in it, mate. Ben went gay to the library. Charlie and Ben then made out before Ben was a manipulative bitch to him again, and then I guess that's a summary of everything.
They're setting up.
So, being the toxic little shit he was,
Little
hit
shit
on the
that
girl.
was, he hit on the girl. I feel like the author has some sort of bias or angle.
Is it a
This-
bias if it's universal hatred towards Ben?
Yeah.
This feels almost like performance art to me.
Yes.
Wait a minute. In form, Ben was seated next to Harry and a hot girl. They go to an all-boys school, don't they?
They do.
They do, yes.
Ooh.
They do. Where'd she come from?
I guess it's an AU then.
Yeah, it's just a normal British comprehensive AU.
To be fair, I think single gender schools are quite rare in Britain.
Yeah.
Ah.
There's a
They
few
are
all
very
girls
rare.
schools that I know of in Hull, but I don't think there's any all boys schools to balance it.
My brothers
Ah,
went to an all-boys
okay.
school. But that's because they had special needs problems and they didn't allow girls in. There's no special needs school for girls.
We can unpack that at a later date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like how one of the tags is author is a Discord light mode user. I know. I'm a
Oh no!
disgrace.
How could you?
Shut it
I
down!
think we should stop reading
Shut
this.
it down immediately.
No, we're not shutting this down.
Call
the
the
dialogue's
authorities.
fantastic. Ben pulled Harry down to the floor, kissing him lovingly without being homo. He let out a soft moan as Ben started moving down his neck. No homo, by the way, bro, Ben said to Harry. Don't worry, dude. I understand.
And he did.
Ben, my no homo boyfriend. Get on with it, he moaned out noisily.
No.
Bro, no homo, Ben said lovingly as he shoved his cock into Harry's
Oh my
ass.
god.
God.
This just get.
Mate,
I
I'm
am-
close. Ben said.
I am fascinated with their use of squiggles to like elongate the
Yeah.
word. Is it like supposed to be like a wavery kind of a moment?
I guess. Mate, I'm close. Sorry, said.
This is like watching one of those car crashes that only exist on like Burnout 3 Takedown.
Oh god, it is just a
Yeah,
pile
exactly.
up,
It's like
isn't
that
it?
scene in Blues Brothers with all the police cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
Sorry, I just noticed this isn't just a crack fic. This is 5,000 words long. That didn't quite sink in for me until just now. I thought
Oh,
this was like a
shit.
quick one-off thing. There are 8 chapters,
oh my god.
including an alternative end. I'm reading this. This is bonkers.
Is this a slow
No.
burn?
Slow burn.
You just heard them have sex in a straight way.
The straightest slow burn.
I think you also found the only fic on all of AO3 that genuinely has heterosexuality as a tag.
Yeah, but it's a lie.
Dear Lord.
Even though it isn't.
I have to check. I'm just curious.
Well done, Jim. Well
Oh,
done.
thank you. Okay, let me... For comparison, let's pull up the stats.
What's
Heterosexual sex has 3,898 works. Gay sex...
bot?
Gay sex has 32,426.
Yeah, that sounds right. Frankly,
That's
that
all
sounds
I
low.
get.
So, roughly 10% size. Wow. That's nuts.
Well, real life media, it's
That's
completely
true.
the other way around
Yeah.
and not even 10%. So, you know,
The tables have turned.
it has to go somewhere,
true.
James.
Okay, let's see what else we can find.
I shared a fic that I have read and
Oh,
really
okay.
enjoy a couple back that's called More Pressure,
Oh,
Please,
sorry.
in which Nick is a sports massage therapist.
Oh.
Oh,
It's delightful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
And Charlie is a runner who needs help. And they're just
see.
like very sweet.
Oh, okay.
It's very like awkward romance. Again, it's the like, I like you, but I don't know what to do with that information. It's really cute.
that's the
Aw.
best kind of dynamic, though.
Yeah.
So even though they're older, they're still mentally in high school.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
aren't we all, really?
Yeah.
And Darcy and Tara both work at the massage therapy place, and Darcy helps set up Nick and Charlie.
Nice.
It's really cute.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah, great. I'll actually be your therapist today. I'm Nick. Charlie felt his stomach twist but could not tell if it was nerves or desire. This lovely Nick man will be touching his body for more than an hour. He might die.
Oh, no. Your forearms are more developed than I would expect from someone with a desk job. Do you row or kayak? I'm a drummer.
Oh.
Bless them.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, this is very wholesome.
Hello, Pepper.
And it looks like Nick is just slowly figuring stuff out about himself.
Yeah.
As is canon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think that was one of the nicest bits of Heartstopper, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And a
like,
little bit sad, because there was that montage of him Googling things. And that,
Yeah,
that
there
was
was.
rough.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when he went onto BuzzFeed, it
Yeah.
was like, don't.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that was hilarious.
Like, yes, we have all done that, but no, don't do it.
We have.
It's not
Or if you
helpful.
do, don't take it seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
For God's sake, yeah, don't take
Oh.
it seriously at all.
I mean, at least I think BuzzFeed was accurate, if I remember rightly.
For Nick
I mean,
or
it,
you?
it for Nick. It at least told him he was gay, right? Or
I told him he was like 62% gay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Which
it
is the
was,
joke.
Yeah.
which isn't far off being bisexual.
We could, again,
What on
unpack that
earth?
at a later date. But yeah, I mean, you're not technically wrong. Yeah, no, that
trying to
sequence was just like heartbreaking. I think many of us have been down that road before. We were like, oh no, I've learned a thing about myself.
Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
to consult the internet.
Now, I've got to find out more
Oh.
about it, but yeah, I have various sources of conflicting information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God forbid actually talking to a living person about it.
That's high
Big
school.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is high school all over.
That's high school.
Yeah.
Zombie apocalypse.
Ooh.
That's exactly what
expecting
Heartstopper was missing, I think.
Yeah. The zombie twist.
Well, the heart stops at this point and it's got zombies in it.
Yes!
Charlie is immune to this lethal disease that has brought the world to ruin. He must struggle to survive in a world that's out to get him from many angles. When his sister is kidnapped by a group to expose and take advantage of his immunity, he gets the help he needs from an unlikely source.
Wow.
My God.
So,
This is the
Yeah.
journey, isn't it? Oh, it's a Last of Us
Ah,
crossover.
that
would do
fits.
it.
That's why.
I think it sounded
That'll do
better.
it.
I have a confession to make about when you first said that we were covering Heartstopper.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In my head, based on just the title alone, I was just expecting like generic action movie.
What?
You know,
Right.
like just based on the title alone, you know, I'd expected like coming this summer, Heartstopper, you know, that sort of thing.
Oh.
That's it. There'd just be
I
like
found-
Sylvester Stallone with a machine gun, you know, like do 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 do. I'll cry when I'm done killing, that sort of thing. But it wasn't.
This
it was
was
totally
definitely
different.
not that. Yeah.
Yeah, like this zombie apocalypse thing. It feels like it was closer to what I expected based on just the title alone.
I kind of love the idea of an action-themed Heartstopper trailer, though.
Yeah.
So that's, they should do that for season 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Nick stood atop a
Next
mound with his
summer.
tie round his fucking head,
Just tackling
oversized
zombies.
machine
Just-
gun in his hand, you know.
It's called I Decay when my tongue touches the edges of
Whoa.
your name.
Oh.
That's a hefty
That's gotta be
title.
like a lyric or something.
Do you wanna post that, Grace?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
no.
very heavy.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll pop it in the thing. and then people can have a look. I realised I haven't done that.
Incidentally, Nick, you've made me realise that do you remember the film series Crank with Jason Statham?
Yes.
Where his heart is going to stop unless he keeps like electrocuting himself. Heartstopper was quite a good alternate title for Crank.
Yeah, it would be.
They're very different. But
Oh my god.
I know, I have expected to be like reading through it or watching through it and be like, hang on a minute, they've already done this. Oh man.
So I decay when my tongue touches the edge of your name.
Oh, now that's edge.
Oh, it is a
Yeah.
lyric, and it's from a song that's used in the show.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Slamer, I'm not British, and
very nice.
this might be evident to some British people. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a zombie apocalypse. You get the pass, I think.
Wow, this is their first ever fanfic. Good on
Oh,
them.
congrats.
Oh, good.
Oh, is it?
That's a big first step.
Yeah.
I feel like their heart was in it, and it was like the world needs
This
to
is
know.
the story
and here
that's
we
in
are.
my soul to tell.
I've got a Merlin AU here.
Okay.
So this actually kind of fits, because the actor who plays Charlie does kind of look a bit like the actor who plays Merlin. And I'm wondering if that was the train of thought that got them there.
Oh shit, he does.
Yeah,
I've only just sort of made that link.
yeah. And Nick doesn't
Would-
quite look like the guy who plays Arthur, but it sort of fits. Like, blonde jockey type.
One of our friends, Caitlin, has a theory
Mm-hmm.
that Heartstopper is actually reskinned Merlin fanfic.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I love
okay.
that.
I don't know enough about Merlin to say, but she's like, the dynamic is there. Like, I'm pretty sure this is like a thing that I've like read before in fanfic
Oh,
world, like this
wow.
type of thing. So it's like,
Interesting.
it would be really fascinating if you could ever trace that. But yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
That's not. I don't believe that. I don't know for a fact that it is or is not. But I think it's an interesting idea.
Interesting.
It could easily be, because like when it was written, it was really popular as a TV show,
Mhm.
wasn't it?
That's
Ooh, conspiracy.
that's actually a lot less depressing than thinking that we're just running out of original ideas.
We all know about Twilight, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that was so funny.
So
finding
Twilight was
that.
Harry Potter, right?
What bounced off of Twilight? Was it
50 Shades of Grey.
That was it. No wonder.
There's a whole
sure
genre of published like literature that is now like pretty proudly former fan fiction
Mm-hmm.
or based on other things. There's an argument that Red, White, and Royal Blue may or may not be the Social Network fanfic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, okay.
There's like all
Oh.
kinds of stuff.
There's fanfic for that?
Yeah, that seems
Well,
odd to
of course
me.
there is,
To
but-
answer your own question, Grace, it's the internet.
This is one of my
Okay,
favorite
sorry.
facts. Is are you familiar with the Mortal Instruments?
Hmm.
Vaguely.
So that the author Cassandra Clare was a really big fanfic writer during the LiveJournal days, like and Harry Potter specific.
Oh.
And she had a fic with the pairing of Ron Weasley and Ginny Weasley, titled "The Mortal Instruments."
Oh no!
Oh my
Yup.
god!
Yup.
Oh my god!
Were people searching for one and finding the other?
I'm unsure. I don't know if it's still up. My guess would be like it's up on like shady archives. I don't know that Cassandra Clare would have left that up there for the world to see.
Wow, okay.
That's
I can believe that.
they turned that into a film.
She hustled.
Is there sort of...
I'm not going to unsee Ron and Jenny Weasley now.
So sorry.
Oh my god.
I mean, I've not seen Mortal Instruments. Are there sort of incestuous undertones to it?
I'm not sure. I don't think
so.
I am not familiar with it.
I'm questioning myself now. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Let us know.
Help. Help.
Report back on how vaguely incestuous it might be. I've also
I
found...
mean,
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, I'm writing a fanfic actually got me an A in my English exam.
Yes.
Oh, really?
You've written a fanfic?
Can we talk about it on the show? If you can
What
find it?
was it?
Yeah, tell us immediately.
All right then. Sorry, Erin and Alan, you're probably not going to get this, but
It's fucking Life on Mars, isn't it?
no, Jim and Grace, you guess what it's going to be.
It's Life on Mars, isn't it?
Fast and Furious.
No, to both. But it is
Thomas Tank Engine.
it is Mars related.
Sorry, Thomas the Tank Engine sent me. Wait a minute.
Hey, that's a very serious novel about a train apocalypse.
Yeah. Don't read into the Thomas the Tank Engine lore. It's bonkers.
Ah, the summer of 1968.
You weren't there.
The end of steam. Anyway.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
what was it?
Okay,
Nick?
so I just needed something to write about, and I wasn't doing very well. So basically, all I did was I rewrote the War of the Worlds for a modern setting.
God damn it! Of course it was War of the
Oh
Worlds.
Yeah.
That's kind of genius. I love that.
Did you
And
send it to
I-
Steven Spielberg in the mid 2000s? Because he did the same thing not long after.
I think this was before Spielberg, to be... Oh, no, it would have been after. But anyway, it was very much of the book version, interspersed with the
okay.
Jeff Wayne's musical version. I basically just rewrote that. I copied huge swaths of text from the novel and and sort of like rejiggered them around to, to sort of fit my own narrative that I wanted to write. And
Like when they recycle fics.
Yeah,
They just
basically...
take out the names and replace
Yeah,
them.
that's it. And I handed it in, and I got an A.
Wow.
You bastard.
What's the statute of limitations on plagiarism?
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say. That's not fanfic. That's just plagiarism.
yeah, I know. But here's the thing: for the purpose of getting an A, it definitely was fanfic, and you can't convince me otherwise. I got that grade 10 years ago, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
It's my A. I earned it.
The old-fashioned way, by lying.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, it probably was straight up plagiarism, but to be fair, nobody fucking noticed.
Yeah. If you don't get caught. Hey.
That's true.
I know, I got really lucky to have the examiner which hadn't read War of the Worlds, or watched the movies, or listened to the musical version, or watched the 1953 film.
I guess lived under a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Or was a massive fan and was like, this is the least
This is
boring
great
thing I
fanfiction.
have to
Ooh,
read
I love
today."
that take.
Or just so done with their job, they were like, I
Finally.
no longer care enough.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. He reads the title of the fic, and then suddenly the Eve of the War starts playing. You know, he's like, yes, I'm here for this. No one would have believed. I am off. This is me.
God damn. So there's
Bloody hell.
surprisingly few crossovers coming to look at this. There's a lot on the tag, but most of them are the webcomic and the TV show, which is, I guess that's a crossover, but not really.
Yeah.
That's AO3's algorithm being funky.
I think it's just that there isn't enough fic in the fandom to create a, all media types combined tag.
Yes, I imagine so.
Yeah.
There's a few of something called Young Royals, which I've not heard of.
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
another Netflix series.
Aha. Let me have a
Came out
quick-
about the
That-
same time.
Does anyone know
Yeah.
what's it about?
It is...
It's...
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Alan.
No,
Nope,
no,
you
go
tell
ahead.
it. Nope,
Prince
you do
will.
it.
I haven't seen it, but it keeps coming up on my recommended, and I've lingered. So what my understanding is that it's set in some other country. Let me look it up. 'Cause
It's Swedish.
Sweden, great. And there's a prince who's now going to an all boys academy, and then starts to fall for one of his classmates, and all of the fallout of being royal and that expectation and that kind of stuff. So it looks like Heartstopper if it was taking more of a Riverdale angle, I guess. If it was more intense, if things could go wrong,
Oh, okay.
or skins.
Royal consequences.
Yeah, skins meets Heartstopper is the vibe I'm
Oh,
picking
dear.
up on.
I
Okay.
didn't like Skins. It was a
That's
bit
really
too
interesting.
cringe and close to home. Having either just gone to uni or was midway through the uni experience at the time.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh, one of the characters has Asperger's, Grace.
Stop it.
One of the female characters has Asperger's
I
as
don't
well.
care.
They're your people.
I can't relate to Asperger's on the TV because it's bullshit.
Yeah, it sure is.
And you can't convince me Skins does an accurate portrayal.
No, I can't. That's fair.
So
But
I have
anyway.
found a fic with a possibly even weirder pairing.
Ooh, go for it.
If y'all want to take guesses before opening it.
A weirder pairing than that, I'm gonna say it's got to involve one of the teachers.
No, so okay,
Okay.
it's weird, but like it has one of the hated characters with someone else.
I opened the link. Why would you do that?
Because I was like, whoa, I was taken aback.
Yeah. That's
need to
worse
know.
than any other character, too. Like, think
Yup.
about how that would go
Yup.
in the show.
Wait, Tao and Ben.
Yup.
Oh no.
It's weird because I clicked on it and I got this thing called important message and it's all in Chinese.
Yeah, I got that, too.
What's like?
Oh, strange.
It's
That's
okay.
never
I
happened
think
to
you
me
can just
before.
click consent and it goes away. And I'm sure
Yeah, if you
it's
just
fine.
enter your credit card information to it, it'll
Yeah.
dismiss it.
Yeah, alright.
Put your government issued identification number in there.
Villains
my
are
God.
always the characters I want to know more about, which is fair. I tend to like my villains.
Yeah, but what a pairing.
Ben,
What
not
like?
so- yeah,
Why would you put those two together? They didn't say a word to each other in the series.
yeah. I didn't think they had.
I know. Plus, from purely a canonical point of view, I don't think Tao deserves that.
Yeah.
He deserves
No.
it.
He deserves better.
Yeah, poor Tao.
Are we ever going to talk about how much they did Will Gao dirty with that hairstyle?
Oh
Yes.
man.
Yes,
know,
that's all
right?
I complained
Oh,
about for the
man.
entire thing. I was like, boy
I was
needs a
like,
haircut.
why it's not even like a good representation
not-
of what his hair looks like in the
Oh.
comic, which is the only thing that I
No,
could
it's
see.
not.
It's just so ridiculous looking.
I had been wondering how
I don't
authentic that was to
understand.
the comics. I
Not
thought that was
very.
just what it was like.
Not really.
No. He had
Oh,
normal
dear.
fucking hair.
I think the idea was to have it be really abundantly clear that he wears his beanie all the time, so he has like the hair flippies, or because his hair is just so flattened down. But like, we didn't need that. We
No,
can
he-
see him wearing the hat.
No.
Like, it's fine. You're
Looks like a
solving a
minotaur
problem that
more than
didn't
anything.
exist.
I think I was watching an interview, either watching an interview or reading an article where they were talking about this decision, and I think the reason they came up with was like they wanted to make like really nail home the like he is clearly an outsider. He is not like a popular kid, and so they were trying to do like a visual cue. And I agree, I hate it. I think it went too far.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was thinking. To be fair, that they may be done.
He's
You know.
just got normal hair in the comics.
yeah. Funny
Uh-huh.
story.
Yeah.
My hair used to do not to that extent. I didn't part it midway. I had the side part like a good millennial. But my bangs would do that flippy thing. So I was like a version of Tao for like 2 years.
I'm so sorry,
Oh.
Alan.
That's okay. We made it through
So
somehow.
for anyone too lazy to Google,
That would have been so much better, wouldn't it?
yeah,
God's sake.
He definitely has much more, like, less odd hair in that.
It's just a little bit shaggy, and that's
Yeah.
fine, you know?
Yeah, I get.
God,
the
they
actor's real life hair looks closer to the comics.
should have just left the boy
They
alone. They should just let him walk on. No, he doesn't need makeup. Just let him walk on. He's fine.
Yeah, he looks the part.
God damn it.
But why is he shagging Ben in this fic?
I don't.
Because the
It's gotta be hate sex,
author's
please.
note says villains are always the characters I want to know more about. I disagree with that assessment,
Ah.
but sure, it's a worldview.
I mean, there's no about and then there's romance them, which should be two very different things. Unless they're hot, then it's like
Yeah, I want to see more of Ben just to see what nefarious things he's up to, but not. I don't want to see him happy in life, and it's very different.
you make him sound like a Batman
I want to
villain.
see him struggle and fail, time and again.
Well, I am very curious. There's a few of these chapters. How long is this? This is 31,000 words and 20 chapters. There's a lot going on here.
Oh, and it's like dialogue heavy. It's all dialogue basically.
I'm liking the pictures they've done. I'm not gonna lie. There's pictures for there's like a cover for each chapter.
Different colors.
Yeah, I've skipped to 20, and I think they get progressively gayer.
That's exciting.
Like when you get to 20, he's got like a rainbow, and there's like the leaves, like in the show.
Oh.
So maybe this is the redemption arc I was saying might be out there,
Yeah, maybe so.
and Tao's the one to bring it to him. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I'm sort of just skipping through it and seeing the colours get progressively lighter as it goes on. So, okay.
Okay, we found the Ben redemption arc.
We somehow found
Yeah,
it.
maybe it's the pairing that we didn't know we wanted.
No,
I still don't think I want it.
Okay.
I'm happy he's got a redemption arc. I don't think Tao deserves that.
No. Yeah. Tao still
I think he
doesn't
works
deserve
well
it,
with
so
Al.
That's fair enough.
It's the pairing we didn't ask for and didn't want, but was provided anyway.
There is a time and a place for redemption arcs, and they can be fan fiction, and they can be very, very good ones. But that doesn't mean I have to read it.
This is hilarious. It's the only work in the Ben Tao tag.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sometimes one is enough.
Yes.
All right.
So one last thing I want to search. I'm just looking for Isaac fics now.
Fair enough.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? Tell you what, you look for Isaac. I'm going to look for Imogen fics, because she's another person who deserves better, and I hope that's out there. Oh, look, there's an Isaac and Nick.
Huh.
Yeah, Isaac and... never mind, I said that wrong. That's Imogen and Nick. Ugh, go away. That'll do.
That was such a journey you just went on.
I know, right? I should mention it's and not slash, so it's probably just their dynamic more than anything.
Yeah, I've learned the hard way.
While we're looking for fic, I love Isaac. Isaac is like easily one of my like top 3 characters in the whole series, and he's based on a character that exists only in the TV show. He is not from the comic. Yeah, he's kind of an amalgamation of a couple of different characters from the comic, most notably Alid. But yeah, I love Isaac so much. And Toby Donovan, the actor who plays Isaac, did a very sweet YouTube series of behind-the-scenes footage from the filming of the show that he put on YouTube, and it was very, very sweet. He was like a first-time actor, just like having a grand old time with his friends, being like, "This was the greatest thing I've ever done." He was having such a great time.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better way to phrase it. I was wondering how you could love him when there's so little of him, of screen time, but if he's prominent in behind the scenes, I could see that rubbing off.
But also the moment in the show where he walks in with the like antiseptic wipes. Okay.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I rewatched that just to hear him go, okay, because it's so funny. It's the greatest timing. Like, he has the comedic, like, this impeccable comedic timing in that moment that I was just like, you're my favorite.
Yeah.
He's also been said to be coded this way, and Alice Oseman has talked about, in seasons 2 and 3, like, he is Ace.
Oh, great.
So it's like, yes. I'll be interested to see if they make it explicit in future series.
I have to imagine they do.
Yeah, I mean, Alice Oseman is also Ace, so I trust them to actually do it, and not just like basically queerbait us. But
yeah, fingers crossed.
That doesn't come up that often.
I'd like to see that too.
Be good to explore. I think
especially since he's just so unbothered about anything which is going on around him. It's fantastic.
Yep.
I aspire to be that serene.
I relate to the whole thing. Like, I'm just gonna read my book.
Yes.
Y'all are having a lot of feelings over there. Cool. I'm going to be over here not engaging with that.
Yeah, give us a shout if you get stuck.
Yeah.
Not like that, though.
When dinner is ready.
So I very briefly saw, I've actually lost it now. There was a Harry Potter crossover somewhere on one of the many tabs I've got open.
Oh dear.
And the thing is, they've put Charlie in Slytherin. That seems odd to me. But I'm not a massive Harry Potter fan, so...
I mean, Slytherin doesn't necessarily mean evil, it just means...
But I also wouldn't call Charlie, any of the other things, like cunning or, ambitious.
Resourceful and cunning, conservative
incidentally,
values.
this is called Where We Come Alive by Beneath the Twilight Sky. Which are both solid names.
Yeah.
It's got Nick and Gryffindor, which, yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But Charlie and Slytherin, which I'm not sure I see it, personally.
No, I don't.
Maybe it's just green suited his eyes.
Yeah.
Or they were going for
Maybe it's the tension of Gryffindor and
Yeah.
Slytherin coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
could
maybe.
He feels a lot more Hufflepuff to me.
be. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always felt like they needed a good Slytherin character in the Harry Potter books. Just to sort of redeem
they did.
an entire... Was there?
Yeah, Horace Slughorn.
Oh.
Well,
Sort
Hang
of.
on, mate.
Is
I will
this a Horace
confess-
Slughorn apologist podcast? Because I might need to reconsider my
We've gotta
attendance
go.
here today.
This isn't a take we've endorsed.
It starts with the guy squatting in someone else's house disguised as a sofa after trashing the place. He's a what? No.
To be fair, it has been a while since I've read Harry Potter. So I just remember him being sort of overall good, but maybe he wasn't.
Well, I also remember that they tried to... Who's Sirius Black's brother? Regulus?
Oh,
Regulus, yeah.
Like, he was a Slytherin
Yeah.
and, like, did, like, the good thing, and so, like, the honorable thing. So I think they tried to spin, like, see, Slytherins can be good. And it's like, okay, but it came a little too late, and we never met him, so...
yeah. We were not particularly invested in any of those character arcs.
Yeah. I've forgotten a lot of these characters, to be honest. I'm not the biggest of Harry Potter fans, truth be told.
You don't like magical
I love
schools,
magical
do you?
schools, Grace. That is treason. How dare you say that?
How dare you?
We watched Little Witch Academia together and had a great time. And I still
Aw.
hold that one fondly.
Yeah, we did, to be fair, yeah.
I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is also a magical high school.
But whenever you talk about Harry Potter,
It's
you're like,
specifically
oh, yeah,
Harry
I
Potter.
don't like
It's
that
got so
scene.
much potential.
Meanwhile, you're like, Fantastic Beasts, though.
I didn't hate Fantastic Beasts at first. There's definitely... I could have improved it, I'm not going to lie. I think anyone could have improved that series if they were involved in the writings. Like, they missed a trick.
I found it funny when you said Sonic the Hedgehog had more Fantastic
did.
Beasts
It
than the
does.
second one.
Because Sonic the Hedgehog has 3 Fantastic
like,
Beasts.
Don't boo him, he's right.
It's got Sonic, it's got Tails, that's 3.
Oh, God.
Versus, apparently the third Fantastic... It's only got the 1, so...
That's
yeah.
dog shit, isn't it? That's terrible.
So basically, what you wanted, Jim, was Steve Irwin does magical creatures.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did.
That would have been great.
And... no.
I know, we got World War II.
I haven't watched any of those
Exactly.
films on principle. I was like, this is a cash grab, and I'm not interested.
Okay, the first one,
Same.
quite solid.
That's good.
I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. You can forget it as soon as Johnny Depp shows up.
Bummer.
It's at that point you switch it off and you're just like, okay, good single film.
Just close the laptop.
I'm sure glad they didn't spin this out into 5 because that's the plan for 5.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Okay, Grace, what's this one? We should probably wrap up at some point.
I found a Teen Wolf crossover.
Hey,
Yes!
they get everywhere.
Hey!
And it's by Being Wolf 2001, and I read the summary in like that early 90s 2000s like booming voice. Charlie Spriggs was just a normal teenage boy until one night his friend Tao makes him go look for a dead body. What could go wrong? Except, a wolf bites Charlie and turns him into a werewolf. Without having a crush on a straight boy, things couldn't get
Those
worse.
two are equal problems, to be
And I
honest.
thought, oh, I'm here for this.
Between the two, I'd rather be a werewolf than have a crush on a straight boy. I understood.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
I can see why it's a problem.
being a
That
werewolf's
was-
pretty cool, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little bit weird because I sort of read it and I thought it was in the, record scratch. Yep, that's me. I suppose you're wondering how I got into that situation, this sort of thing.
Yes.
I'm kind of sad they planned 20 chapters and we've only got 6 out of this.
But it
And they
says
seem to have-
completed. I'm interested in
Yeah.
how they're doing this.
Yeah,
Oh.
I like the tags. Teen Wolf, werewolves, witches, hunters,
Oh.
were-coyotes, chaotic energy. And I'm thinking, God, they've packed a lot into this. I wonder where this is gonna go.
I would be curious.
What's a were-coyote?
It's like a werewolf, but you turn into a coyote.
Yes.
Crikey. I wonder how witches come into this.
Are there witches in Teen Wolf?
Actually, I don't know why I'm overthinking this. It's probably got werewolves.
Same,
Like,
same
go with
universe,
it.
except the premise.
Has anyone
Suspend your
watched Teen
disbelief
Wolf
for
here?
one night.
Has anyone watched
Pardon?
Teen Wolf? Yeah.
I've seen
No.
various, like a weird amalgamation of seasons.
Okay.
But
Are
not
there
all of it.
witches?
Okay.
There are.
Okay. See, I kind of assumed it was sort of a Buffy situation where it's like the kitchen sink is just thrown in terms of supernatural beings.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. It has very Buffy vibes.
Okay. So even though it is meant to be focused on wolves, a
Mhm.
little bit of everything. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like every season in Teen Wolf, I think.
We're probably going to have to watch it at some point just for research sake.
It's
Oh.
wild. Have fun.
Okay. Well,
Oh.
I'll see if I can find some drinking games for it. Spice it up. I assume it's drink every time there's a shirtless bloke, from what I've seen
Oh my god,
of
you'll
it.
be dead.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Let's fucking go.
Wow.
I've never heard Nick say like shirtless men.
It does seem weird. Now
I feel a
you
bit
mention
thrown.
it seems weird that Charlie is the shirtless werewolf hunk in this setup, whereas presumably Nick is just a normal guy.
Well, I'll bet you
I don't
Nick
know,
was
though.
the
We're
one that
not-
like bit him.
Would that make him the alpha? Not in that way.
Stop it.
I think it would, yes.
Okay.
I mean, does it work like vampires? Like,
Maybe.
if Nick dies, does he turn to ash?
I think it
Don't
depends
cross
on
the
the...
streams, Grace. Don't cross the streams.
I'm sorry, I
I
can't
wouldn't
help
know. I'm
it.
not a werewolf.
I think it depends on the like canon you're in. It varies from place to place. And Teen Wolf, I don't
True.
remember. I don't think that they die if the alpha gets killed, but I could be wrong.
I do find it interesting. Now I think about it, it's always vampires and werewolves that get sexualized and turned into this sort of thing. But there's a lot.
Dogs and corpses. Oh yeah.
There's plenty of other like supernatural. Like we never got like the sexy Bigfoot show, which could be good.
You
True.
get
Have we
mermaids.
had a
Yep.
Ah, I didn't know that. I was thinking of mummies because
I was gonna say, where's our mummy fanfic?
they've not really been sexualized since the early 2000s when Brendan Fraser did his
I've
thing.
been sexualizing that
Mhm.
actor every day.
We're still running the Brendan Fraser mummy as mummy fans.
Oh, and the one from Night at the Museum.
Oh
Was there a handsome mummy in the museum?
He was lovely.
I've not seen him. I have to.
He's a handsome man.
Who played?
All the shipping forecast. You do take me to the strangest.
Oh, it's the bloke from Mr. Robot.
I was wondering, Rami Malek.
Yeah, that's him.
That's it,
Also
that's his
Freddie
name.
Mercury in the film about the life of Queen.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's the one.
Looks better as a mummy in my opinion.
Stick to your mummy job.
So you can
Oh,
have,
he was also
That's
in
fair.
Twilight.
Get
In
over. Really?
the last
What?
movie, yeah.
Wow.
He's really run the gamut.
Fucking hell.
That's quite a range we've gone on. Okay, we should probably wrap up at some point.
Yeah. It's like,
Hang on, let me
how,
check
I
my-
was sitting here
Jesus
quietly going, how are we
Christ.
going to get back?
I just saw my timer and seen we've been going for almost 3 hours. So
I do not
we're-
envy you. Who
We're
has to
definitely
edit
wrapping
this.
up here. Oh yeah, that's gonna be. There's gonna be a big section I can cut out at least. So
Yeah,
true.
Yeah,
that's
this
not
is
too
this is how sort of Jim stops it and brings it back on track. It's basically launching the brick wall across the motorway.
bad.
and
Just
then
sort of go.
starting
Oh
again.
God, look at the time.
Go!
we should stop. So I'll do the thing Grace hates. So Grace, what have we learned? What have we learned today?
I learned that if you
Great.
look hard enough and you believe in your heart, you will always find a mermaid out there.
Yes, that is true.
And yet we didn't this
No,
episode.
we found-
Ha, bloody ha.
In spirit, I think we found like a
We did.
fan like
absolutely
interpretation.
counts.
No. No.
I think it definitely counts. Sorry, Grace.
Bastard and a traitor.
I've learned that Grace and I both suffer equally with our friends who like to sassafras us.
Yeah, hashtag sorry not sorry.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh.
You give as good as you get. So
That's true.
It's true.
I have been surprised by how ultimately true to form like these fics are. Like generally, at least when I tend to look at fanfiction, like the fans take the characters and go off in very different directions. Like they'll like in terms of theme, they tend to be the exact opposite of the show sometimes. Like when we covered Yakuza, like it was all very fluffy, despite the games being like serious organized crime.
yeah.
So
Are you joking? Yakuza is very fun.
yeah, it has its fluffy moments.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
You get my meaning.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this has sort of stayed within the Heartstopper bubble. Like it's not too far detached from the core content itself.
And I would say that
Yeah.
that has something to do with something that we talk about a lot on our podcast, and Erin is much more succinct, so if she wants to jump in at any point, she can, is that fanfiction oftentimes, one of the things that it does really well is it offers people a way to process things that are happening in the show. So, you see something really traumatic or something that is like really upsetting, you get to go onto fanfiction, and somewhere some people have written like the happy ending or like the fluffy ending, and so you get to kind of live vicariously through that. Whereas with Heartstopper, because the source material is so fluffy, everyone else is just like, there's nothing to fix really. It's great. We're just gonna keep
We're
writing.
just gonna do more fluff.
Yeah.
It's just exploring the same universe.
Yeah,
Just gonna
there's
ride
sort of
on this
two
high.
main camps of fanfiction, and then there's some like offshoots. But it's the expanding the canon versus fixing the canon.
Mm-mm.
And
Yes.
to me, Heartstopper fanfic generally is about expanding the canon and just living in the world and enjoying it, as opposed to other fandoms where it's like, no, we gotta go do something else because this went away we don't like.
Honey, this needs work. It's gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So it's a fandom that is a unified fandom, I suppose is the words I'm looking for. Like, no one disagrees with how the plot has gone, I suppose.
I mean, I don't know that you can say that definitively, but I think generally
Okay,
speaking, the tone of at least AO3 fanfic response to the show is like, yes, we have agreed upon canon being acceptable. And here's what we're going to do. And
it passed.
right, and like my comparison for that is The Magicians, right? Like that was the last major fandom that I was in where canon went so horribly against what the fans wanted that everyone went, no more canon, and just said like, this is not it anymore, and we are now responsible for continuing this story in like headcanon. So I think the Heartstopper sort of vibe is very like, we like canon, it's good, we just want to like spend more time with these characters and like play around.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why mend? Why ain't broken? I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this is actually our first adventure into a fandom that is so unified as well.
It's
Okay.
small too, which is helpful. I think the smaller the
I
fandom,
mean-
the more consistent you're able to sort of find your opinions. But
True.
That makes a lot of sense.
Although I will say that I've learned that there is no place you can run. There is no hidey hole you can hide in. It doesn't matter how long you put your fingers in your ears and shut your eyes and go la 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 la. ABO will find you somewhere.
There it is.
Amen.
Excellent.
Wow. That's a scary thought.
I always feel like ABO is following me.
Erin, we don't have the rights to that.
Shush.
It's okay, it's going up on our show. You won't get sued.
I only used the 10-second clip and it was for educational purposes.
Exactly.
It's a cover. It's
That's
fine.
Yeah.
more transformative than a lot of the things we read today.
Yeah.
It's fine. Grace, I still haven't picked on you. What have you learned today?
I never learn anything because I have the memory of a goldfish.
Oh. That's harsh on yourself. Don't be
honest.
That's not the words I was looking for. But
On no account must they know the real you.
Look. What did I learn? I feel like I learnt less and more was validated in what I already believed with the fandom is that fuck Ben. Fuck Harry.
yeah. Okay.
I'm glad they're not finding peace in the fandom because honestly they're horrible characters and I'm glad that hasn't happened.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I can that's good enough. Congrats. Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anything else we want to say before we run away and do our own things?
Thanks for hosting us on your podcast.
Yeah, thanks for
That is
having us. This was
not
delightful.
a problem.
Oh, you're so welcome. We haven't fucking scared you off.
Yeah, because you've got to come back in 2 weeks and do all this again.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Exciting.
And by this, I mean something more familiar to your show is just talk about a fic you read.
Oh,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
Because, we'll be back at this in 2 weeks. And hopefully everyone joins us then. Erin Alan, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yes, we do. We are the Fic List podcast, which means if you Google us, we come up in a bunch of different ways. But we are on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, all the usual places that you find your podcast content. We are on TikTok. We've recently gone viral on TikTok, and I don't know how I managed it.
Congrats.
But the TikTok is now how you can find us. We are on Twitter at Fic List. We are on Tumblr, the ficlistpodcast.tumblr.com, which is run by our formidable third member of the team, Caitlin. I have nothing to do with it, so I can't lay any credit to the brilliance that is therein, but it is brilliant. We are on Instagram technically, but like don't go there. And then do not find us on Facebook. Just don't. It's not worth it.
That's fair.
Alan, did I miss anything?
No, I think you got them all.
We are now a tag on AO3, which is hilarious.
Ooh.
Oh my god, that's
Ooh.
true.
Wow.
Very big.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thanks. That was like the true measure of success.
What is that tag? Is it shipping the two of you, or is it like fics you've covered?
No, it's actually, so we recently went to DC Comic-Con and we hosted a cosplay panel that was about shipping, and somebody wrote a fan fiction about the Fic List panel at AwesomeCon. And so it is the greatest gift I've ever been given in my life. I treasure it immensely, and it was really, really fun.
Agreed.
I hope you haven't.
Shit, that's how you know that you've made it.
What an honour.
I'm genuinely impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, what? It was the greatest thing that's ever happened. So yeah, now anytime somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm like, well, I'm a tag on AO3, so.
It's the only thing
Match
keeping me
made in
going.
AwesomeCon.
Yep. So.
Damn. Yeah, I've just found it.
Yep.
That's okay. That's
Right,
something to
who's
read
bringing
later.
that in the end of season special?
Maybe. We'll something to consider. I haven't figured out what we're doing for the end of the year yet. but
Well,
we'll
I
work
mean,
on it.
instead of obscure British TV, we could just be obscure things.
It's the we talk about whatever we want episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
how fun.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, we could do that.
Alan, I was telling them about our Fic List After Dark, or like Fic List After Hours little
I
show
agree
idea.
with that plan.
Oh, I don't even remember what it is.
Where we just keep recording after we've done our episodes when we're at our most punchy and just talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, that'd go over well. It'd be a lot of like, oh my gosh, we were recorded for a long time.
Yeah, fair.
Well, I think it's worth it. And I hope listening to this has been worth it for everyone listening. Thank you if you got this far. Join us in 2 weeks when we're going to read some of these fics. Or maybe fics we haven't talked about. Maybe fics we just have in our bookmarks that are related to this. We'll see. But thank you for listening. We're out there as well. We're on mostly Twitter and Tumblr. We set up a LinkedIn as a joke the other day. If you want to find that, I've no idea what we're going to post on it because it's actually quite a limited platform in terms of things you can do with it.
That's
so
incredible.
maybe not.
Just the word synergy over and over again.
You know what, Nick? You can take over the LinkedIn if you just want to post the word synergy every so often. And maybe tag some CEOs in ABO stuff and be like, hey, that's you.
Get some really high up names
That
on
could
there.
be a lot of fun.
Add everyone.
Genius.
Yes.
Hey, Bill Gates, I found this smut about you.
Oh.
Agree. That could be fun.
I think you'd be really into it, actually.
You know, so yeah, if you are brave enough to follow us on your LinkedIn, and as a listener, I imagine your LinkedIn is not generally associated with AO3. If you do, you can pick a topic for us to follow. There you go. That's the
I
incentive.
love an incentive.
A challenge.
Yeah. Mhm.
Ruin your work history. forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you ruin yours, you can make us read BTS fics. If you ruin your career path
That seems like a fair
for
trade.
the small price of ruining your professional appearance. Is there anything else I need to say in an ending? I can't remember.
Yeah, are we going for the fic forecast or the shipping list?
Ooh. I think the ship list works quite well.
Yep, fair enough.
Yep.
Any objections?
It's sort of half Erin and Alan's shout as
Yeah.
well, so yeah.
Maybe I'll try and merge the logos.
Have a cursor in the
Are we
middle of your...
overthinking it?
We're definitely overthinking it, but
I love it.
that's half the fun of this show.
Yes.
But yeah, looking at the timer, I don't want any more footage to edit, so we're going to say goodbye now.
Sounds good.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.